What up, anime heads? It is
What
the
up?
Eat the Cake crew. We're back, joined by my man Eric, and then Jackie. I, of course, Mac, aka your boy. Continuing the spooky season. We could have went a little bit more in the horror thing, but apparently, the one anime that we were hoping would be great to talk about around this time ended up being complete dog shit. We'll let you figure out what anime that is. It comes on Adult Swim. And I think it's like on HBO Max now too.
Uzumaki.
Yeah, it's the first episode, like Jackie said, amazingly done, and it gets you hyped for the other ones. But the next three, you're just like, and I'm done. So, we looked into something kind of more darker. We came across Chainsaw Man, which was really critically well accepted across both mediums, the manga and the anime. So we figured, hey, let's talk about a banger instead of talking about something that we were just going to bash the whole time. So, uh, without further ado, let us start the show and start us talking about Chainsaw Man. The following is a presentation of the That Villain Podcast Network, reminding you to always question the answers. And we're back. Just had to make sure
Yeah.
we sent these links out. So, I know, Eric, we were kind of talking behind the scenes before we went live. You just finished. Well, first of all, let me just say I appreciate you doing the homework, watching the
Yes.
first season, so we could talk about it tonight. What was your general impression of it overall?
I thought it was great. I know it's been receiving, it receives high marks across the board as far as a lot of the reviews from the major, places everyone checks, IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes, My Anime List. They all kind of gave it at least eight plus, for its score. I agree. I think that for a first season, it really pulls you in right away. I enjoyed it from the start to the finish of the first season. So I agree. It's an 8 for me as well. So 8.5, something like that.
What about you, Jackie?
I loved it. But I also watched it how long ago? Whenever it came out,
Yeah.
2020, I think.
Hmm.
Um, it was uh again, this is when I started getting into like the gory, more action animes the past few years, and Chainsaw Man was like the animation was a little bit different. It was um really exciting to see that, and then all the gore that was going to come with it,
Hmm.
and I was interested about like what it was going to be like. I didn't realize it was going to be like a dark comedy as well, which is which is nice. It puts that little bit of humor with the death and the sadness too, and the action. So I think it's fantastic. I can't wait until the next few seasons.
Yeah, I was the same way. I with a lot of these things, like it's so hard for me to. I think I'm more in tune with upcoming anime, like that are coming out the pipe, than I am with like upcoming manga. So like the new anime that'll come out, people are just like, "Have you read the manga?" I'm just like, "No, not yet." So like the anime, I think part one, or I think if you want to call this season one, it's 12 episodes long. So after that, you're just like, "Well, I need to know what the fuck happens next." So that's
Yeah,
when I
for
go to
real.
the manga after that, right? So, um, but I'm the same. I feel the Eric, you were talking about it. Some of the fans of the story before it went to the anime adaptation were just like, "There's no way they're going to capture all the gore and there's no way they'll display that on the screen. From what I saw, I'm like, bro, it gets pretty gruesome, you know. But just the character's transformation as a whole, I'm just like, bro, that looks like it hurts, you know. So, 100% high marks from us over here at Eat the Cake. So without further ado, I think it's time for us to talk a little bit about the creator, Tatsuki Fujimoto, and how he came about with this whole story. So let's get into our creating the manga. So Fujimoto was born October 10th. And the funny thing is, like, everywhere I've looked, they're like, he's either born in 1992 or 93. So I'm just like, like, is there no records being kept there? Or is he like super just, secret agent, just keeping you on your toes?
He's my age.
Where's your manga at? I need you to step it up, Jackie.
Come on, Jackie. We're waiting here. We're waiting here.
The world's waiting
Season
for you. But no, Fujimoto, born October 10th, 92 or 3. Again, a lot of these creators that come up with these stories start drawing at an early age. Didn't go to any kind of preparatory school, any kind of and the crazy part is, like, in Japan, they do have the schools where you go learn how to draw manga and the panels and storyboards and stuff. He had none of that. So he just, went to painting classes, which his grandparents intended, and he practiced oil painting, graduated in Western painting from a University of Art Design in Yamagata. But after that, he, in 2011, which would make him, 19 or 18 at that point?
Yeah, I was 18 or 17 in that year.
Thanks for making me feel old, Jackie. But I digress. He drew his.
He was born 1993. I can help you with that part.
So at that age, 18 or 19, he drew and submitted his first one-shot work. A couple clucking chickens were still kicking in the schoolyard, which I thought was hilarious. Which was nominated for the December Jump monthly award, right? So at that age, just creating something that gets the eye of Shonen Jump, it's pretty impressive without having, I guess you would call it formal training.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean,
go ahead.
No, I mean, it's kind of like, in the States, you hear of course, there's all these different, art schools for people who want to design games or design any kind of media. But then you always have that one, prodigy who comes out of nowhere. It's like, I have no formal training, but I turned out this. And it's like, it blows everybody out of the water. That's what I thought of when I was reading. I was like, he probably caught everybody off guard being 18, not going to any of these schools. So it wasn't like he was getting name dropped by anybody from a school. You know what I mean? Right. He submitted his stuff. It's not like he was on their radar and they were like, oh, he was a great student. So, I mean, to get that kind of you got to think how probably proliferated that field is with artists and, creators. And for him to come out like this guy just came in, dropped us some magic here.
Yeah. And I think with the one shot, unless it's stated somewhere else, like, I think the one shots, the person is on the hook with creating the story, the writing, and the animation itself.
He's got to do it all, right?
Oh, look, Jackie just went ahead and reminded us. She already took hers. But if you got your shots.
I'll take another one.
Cheers. I'll take another one. It's fine.
I don't have work tomorrow.
She's just living her best life over there, ladies and gentlemen. It must be nice. Here's to Nevada days.
Nevada days.
Thank you, the state of Nevada, for having a holiday.
There you go. Cheers, bonsai, all that good stuff.
I just do the bottle because
Oh my god.
There we go. I'm not a fast pourer, so I'll just straight bottle. That's fine.
But like I was saying, it's unless it's explained somewhere else, I just assume that one shots it's the writer or the creator just doing it his whole self, just a one-man show, one-person show at that point. So
well, it's also just like that volume or it's just a chapter. So
Mhm.
however long that chapter is. So maybe the volume is 5 chapters long,
Yeah.
and that's the one shot. Like it's kind of like with Death Note was originally supposed to be a one shot,
Yep.
and then he kept the story going.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that from the last episode. Yeah, I was kind of wondering when they do these one shots. So they're responsible, like Willie's saying, for the whole setup. I mean, do they go? They have to outsource for music and stuff, right? Or do they not even worry about that
Well, the one
until?
shot's more like just a short
Just the book,
story. Yeah, just
the
Yeah,
manga.
just.
yeah.
I mean, do they get picked up afterwards, and then someone sets them up with music and everything for the shows or for the series?
Well, I don't think there's been actual one shots that have gotten animated adaptations. The only one I can
Oh,
think of,
okay.
I think, is Burn the Witch, that Tite Kubo did, the creator of Bleach. So Burn the
Oh
Witch,
yeah.
that was a one shot, and they took it and made it a 4-part kind of series. Because that's all a one shot would be, is probably like 4, maybe 5 shows or something like that, you know. But the
Okay.
thing is, if the
They
one
don't.
shot, like Death Note, was supposed to be the one shot, and somebody's like, "Yo, this can be
This can
something,"
carry, yeah.
you know, and then you carry it out into a serialized manga series. Which then, if the manga gets picked up and you have enough chapters, that's when they start looking at
Yeah.
an
So they're really
animated
just looking to
adaptation.
get printed first. They're not so concerned
Yeah.
with
So
trying to get a series
a
right
lot
out.
of famous animes actually start off as one shots. So I know this has nothing to do
No,
with
go ahead.
Chainsaw Man, but Dragon Ball apparently started off as a one shot.
Wow.
So did One Piece. So did Naruto. So did Bleach.
Wow.
Gintama, Fist of the North Star, Urusei Yatsura, which is all like 90s
Yeah.
animes, like big animes that have literally paved the way, or mangas that have paved the way
Right.
for other mangas and animes. They started off as just a one shot. So I wonder if that's normal, is just to,
Yeah, I guess you could call it
yeah,
like a pilot, would be like
Okay.
the
Okay.
a layman's term
yeah,
for it, I guess. You just create a story, a scenario, build a world a little bit, and throw it out there. And if people are just like, "Yo, this is pretty good," then you can kind of expand
Okay.
on it. I would think when you're doing the one shot, you kind of have a bigger story in mind, because once they pick it up,
yeah.
they're just like,
If you
run
get,
with it. You're like, "Well, I didn't think I'd get this far."
yeah,
You know.
it'd be great to
I
see
feel
the
like
full
that's what they
build
did with
from that,
Promise
though.
Neverland.
Oh, stop! We promised
Like if you
Neverland.
could get a behind the scenes, get to see all that from the way, from
Yeah.
the start up to, hey, I submitted this and blah. That'd be great. That'd be cool to see,
Yeah.
like a documentary or something.
Yeah.
Just to,
100%. Shout out to Jen and Kaylee, who are here watching. Jen also says she feels old from Jackie's bragging about being young.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. We used to be that age and did the same thing to our elders.
You know, it's crazy because now that I'm like in my 30s, and now that like I'm dealing with
The younger,
people
yeah, the
like
younger
that are
folks.
younger, 18, 19, 20, even like 22-year-olds. I just met this girl who was 20 years old last weekend, and I asked her how old she was. She's like, "Oh, I'm 20," and I was like, "Oh my god." And
It only gets
she's
better.
and I made a joke that I was like getting too old for drinking, and she's like, "Well, how old are you?" I was like, "I'm 31." She goes,
Oh,
"What?" I was like, "Yeah. How old are you?" She's like, "I'm 20." I'm like, "Oh my god." Okay, never mind.
Jackie, when it hits you, like you get your first student or your troop, and they were born after you enlist. I don't know how long you plan on staying in, but like if
Yeah.
you were going for 20 and you get that one cat that's like 19 joining, and you're just like, oh my gosh, like you were
It's already happened. It was happening when I was in Italy,
like
and I'm like,
you were cultivating my whole Air Force career to get to this
some of
point.
these people didn't know who Cassie was as an artist, and I wanted to cry.
Let's not go down that road. That's
Okay.
me all day. But
All right, back to the show.
yeah.
let's
Fuji,
leave
yeah.
the tears behind.
Yeah.
Uh,
Fujimoto apparently was kind of like the one shot king, though, because he had the couple clucking chickens were still kicking in the
Yeah.
schoolyard.
He had a lot of one shots.
Yep. Seige no Maga, or Sense of Justice, that he entered into the 10th Supreme Comic Grand Prize season. His next one shot was Kamihiyoki or Paper Planes, which won a award at the third. Like he was just cranking out one shots. Like it looks like 4 and then 5 one, like at least 5 they're talking about. No, what is it? More of them. Man, he is out here cranking them out. So, um, his first major serialized work. So the first one where they're just like, "Hey, man, take this, expand it out, make it a serialized thing. We're gonna post it at Weekly Shonen Jump." Which, again, if you are new to this, that is like the magazine you want your stories being pushed in. It's like the number one, I guess. When magazines were popular here in the States, Sports Illustrated is what you would want to be in if you were a sports writer. The Source or anything like that would be what you want to be a part of if you were like reviewing hip hop, things like that. So Weekly Shonen Jump, that's when you make it. So his first one was Fire Punch. And that one did not get picked up as an anime, but I went and looked kind of like at the premise of it. And it sounds interesting to me. Like I wish it kind of would have been picked up as a anime, but so Fire Punch, real quick, just takes place in the future of frozen Earth, barren, purportedly by the Ice Witch, who is among a few that possesses special abilities known as blessings. A teenage boy named Angi has the blessing of regeneration along with his sister. The siblings help a few elders in their village, subsist on the meat of his severed arm. So I'm sitting there reading this thing, and I'm just like, bro, I need to see this. So I'll try to see if it's on Shonen Jump, the app. But it seems like it's a pretty good story. It's a dark fantasy set in a dystopian future, and a supernatural thriller is also the third kind of category it fits under. So I'm all about that stuff.
Sounds interesting already, yeah.
Yep. But that was picked up, and it ran for a bit. But we are here to talk about his first major, or I guess critically acclaimed major work, which is Chainsaw Man, which was also published in Weekly Shonen Jump from December 3rd, 2018 to December 14th, 2020. And then a second part was started up July 13th, 2022. Apparently he put that out. It started topping all kinds of manga lists over there in 2021 for male readers. It owned the best award for best shonen manga in 2021, the best overall manga in 2021, and then it won it again in 2022 and again for the third time in 2023. So,
Wow.
like this dude is just hitting
Smoking
it,
it.
just
Yeah.
crushing it when it comes to coming to
'Cause, I mean, it's
creating
a
this.
huge field to be in and try to. I mean, for him to capitalize like that, it's like, damn, dude,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
He also had a lot of inspiration. Like he confirmed in an interview that it is called Chainsaw Man, but there wasn't any like you didn't have to critically think of is he a fan of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, because
Right.
he straight up said he was inspired by that
Hmm.
movie, and that's what led him to create this character. And actually, he was inspired by a lot of Western films,
Influence, yeah.
on top of like a lot of different horror and supernatural ones, and even some animes that he applied like a lot of that art and scenes and different things like throughout the entire series, which I think is absolutely genius.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever seen an anime or even a manga take from like Western culture movies and shows and actually apply them.
Yeah.
And if anyone's out there that knows differently, let us know. But like, I don't think I've ever seen it applied like this, where it's into this story, and it's pretty legit.
Yeah. But yeah, so real quick, just to bring people in on if you haven't seen it or anything like that. So the setting for Chainsaw Man is 1997. It happens in a alternate timeline where I think the Soviet Union is still around, and in this world, devils are a thing that exists, and they're born from like legit human fears. To the point where professional devil killers or devil hunters exist and are paid to go out there and take care of these devils. So they do that by making contracts with them in exchange for power. So the way that works is, I think when you kill a devil, you inherit its power to an extent. However, when a devil is eaten by the chainsaw devil, which in this story, you may think Chainsaw Man is the chainsaw devil. He is, but initially, it's his little cute little his cute little pooch. Is it
Yeah.
uh
Pochita.
Pochita.
Pochita?
Pochita.
Yeah.
Just
The
Yeah.
little
awesome.
if you
Pochi.
go,
Pochi means dog in Japanese, or it's a common word for
yeah,
dog. And then the ta, fun fact, is Pochita actually resembles an actual chainsaw brand called Makita in Japan.
right,
So the creator just took Pochi for dog, and then he just took the suffix of ta from Makita, and then just added on there.
yeah. Oh, actually,
Pretty sick.
Makita is over here in the state. I didn't know that they use that brand to kind of help come up with the name. But the main character Denji, he's actually an impoverished teenager, right? So he's just starving. Like, I mean, when you talk rock bottom, that's this kid.
Yeah.
So he's working for the Yakuza because his dad, when his dad was alive, had a debt to the
Accumulated
Yakuza.
debt. Yeah.
And the Yakuza's like, hey, man,
He owes a shit ton of money.
use your chainsaw, devil dog, and go kill us some devils, right? So that's what he was doing. And this man, like, when I was watching the anime, then you go back and read the manga. Like, the first impression, obviously, is the anime, but this man's just like, man, I wish the good life. Like, he's dreaming, like, man, you know what would be the good life? Bread with jam.
Yeah.
Yeah. A bath. He thinks a bath is a good life. He's like,
And then he wants a girlfriend that he can just hug.
Yeah. Yeah, like
Yeah.
he's
And go
just like,
with.
I just want to cuddle with the woman.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
the life, you know. And it's cool. He gets this bond with Pochita,
Pochita.
Pochita, and he goes out on what he assumes to be a routine job to go take out the zombie devil, and the Yakuza kind of betray him because they make a deal with the zombie devil. And it goes bad for Denji, and Pochita ends up making a deal with him, like, I'll give you my power if you promise to go out and live your good life. Go get the bread with the jam and all that other stuff. So it was cool to see Pochita just, hey, here's your power. But the thing is, the chainsaw devil, once he destroys a devil, that fear is eliminated from the world.
Erased, yeah. Which
Yep.
is why, like, the Holocaust, AIDS, and I think, like, there's no war that takes place after World War One because
Yeah.
the devils or the fears that are created are getting destroyed. So, like, all these things that happen in your normal timeline aren't happening because all those things are created into devil form.
Mm-hmm.
And so, since they're being destroyed, this new thing is being it's being created.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a nice aspect of it, like to
Yeah.
to eliminate those fears from the world. Like, I could only imagine how that would actually shape. Like, if we had the ability to erase some of the horrible things that have happened in the history of humanity, how that would kind of shape the world. Like, eliminate slavery, eliminate, like you
Yeah.
said, AIDS, nuclear weapons, like things like genocide, things along those lines, where, like, then people, I guess, you wouldn't know the evil in people because the evil in people would just not exist.
It's
You know what I'm saying?
manifested into something else, so it's not on the person, it's just creature.
Yeah.
And, like, as you read the story as well, or the story, like, in most shows that's like this, where you have, like, demons or whatever, there's also, like, some devils are not all bad, and they have some compassion.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I thought it
And
was
I don't know if they explain it more in the story, because I haven't read the manga, but I don't know if it's explained more or if it will be. But an interesting thing that I thought of is, like, you have these fears that are created based off of other people's fears. So I wonder if, like, you're created based off of a fear, but inherently, like, you're not bad. You have that compassion. You were just created,
existed from somebody's
exist,
fear.
and so now you're going off of instinct. Like, one of the characters that I know we'll talk about, Power.
Yeah.
I just rewatched the show, so I was thinking about this as I was watching it. she is considered a blood fiend, but
Hmm.
she never feasts off of humans. And all of the things that you see, it's always animals.
Yeah.
And then she ends up finding compassion for an animal. And so I always wonder like if there's any like underlying tones or symbolism with that of like, yeah, these things are being created based off of people's fears, but now they're created like, are they inherently evil, or are they just now created and they don't know how to like what their instinct or life is supposed to be like?
I thought that was like there's so much that you could go into with that, with the whole the plot and the setting as far as the development of these devils, because it kind of when Denji's talking to Makima and she's explaining like the fears, like she's also talking about how strong a devil can be, but there's fears of even like you think about it, how there's irrational fears like phobias, like someone who's scared. I can't remember the name of it. It's a phobia for peanut butter being stuck on the roof of your mouth. Okay, it's an actual
What?
phobia. It's in psychology books when
Yeah.
there's people who are deathly afeared of the number 13. So you got to think in this world that they created, the idea, of course, the more powerful demons are like, these fears that everyone has.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, fear of war, nuclear
Yeah.
yeah,
bombs, or
you know,
like all this stuff. So I wonder if she was created based on the fear of blood, and blood's
yeah,
not actually bad, you know?
yeah. I mean, she's actually my favorite character now that we bring her up. But power to me is interesting because of the fact that yeah, there you go. Jen named the phobia, but um
Triskaidekaphobia?
yeah, that's the one where you're feared of number 13. There's actually people that they can't even go outside on that day. They don't want to see the calendar. They don't want to see the number on their watch.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I'm getting off track there. The point being, as you're watching this, you see the severity of fear with the different demons and how their power, or the devils, and how their power correlates to that fear.
Hmm.
Especially when they go further into the story and you get introduced to more different types of devils. Because in the very beginning, it's very generalized. Of course, zombies. You're like, of course,
Yeah.
zombies. There's fear of zombies. Of course, there's fear of like a giant bat. Stuff like that. But
Yeah.
as it goes on, it becomes less of a tangible fear, but in a way, those less tangible fears are more powerful because
Yeah.
they're shared by everyone, like war and death and gun
Yeah.
violence and all that stuff is so much bigger
Yeah.
than zombies. You know what I mean? So you get to see how basic fear gives way to this intangible fear. And when Willie brought up, imagine a world where you could affect those things. Think about a world where the fear of xenophobia, which drives so much like racism and hate, could actually be a entity. How powerful that would be.
Yeah.
So those were the things that were reflecting in my mind when I'm watching, and she's explaining how each of these devils' powers are relative. Like a car devil would be, of course, people fear car accidents, people die in that.
Yeah.
That would be more powerful than like a toaster devil. But as she's trying to explain, I think she's trying to hint towards the fact that a lot of people's fears that are of the unknown, or the things you can't grasp, are so much more powerful.
Yeah.
I just thought that was a very interesting approach to the story in general.
Yeah. 100%. Um, but when you have fear that is manifesting in things like that, like the gun devil, people, the fear of guns, especially like you think about nowadays, the back and forth school shootings and things like that, things that are just tragic. There's actually one of the devils that he's hired, or that his mission once he joins these devil hunters is to go out and take care of the gun devil. But the devil hunters, you mentioned Makima, um, being, I guess, the leader, the public safety division. It's led by Makima. Then you have a more experienced devil hunter, Hayakawa, and begins training with Power, like you guys mentioned, the Blood Fiend, which is probably in the 12 episodes, probably the more complex character, because when you first meet her, you probably think one thing, because she has the devil horns, she's drinking blood from animals. You're just like, oh, she's got to be like evil, evil. But like you mentioned, Jackie, there's another side of her where she's taking care of an actual animal.
Yeah,
And um, she does some things throughout the 12 episodes. You're like, are you cool or are you not? Because I feel like you're trying to fuck
Yeah.
over somebody, but then, so it's one of the more complex characters in the anime and in the story. And then you have a veteran devil hunter, Kashibi. All of them fight several enemies, and the enemies are starting to turn up because they want the power. If they defeat Denji, who has the chainsaw devil in him, then they would get the ability to then be able to, I guess, decide what fears stay and go from humanity. So he's kind of like the MacGuffin, if you will.
Mm.
Everybody wants the power he has.
Yeah.
So there's that. But the characters are amazing across the board.
Yeah.
There was actual
Great character
yeah,
design.
not to ruin anything, but there's a death of a character in the first 12 episodes where you're just like, well, damn, well,
Yeah.
I thought y'all was gonna be crew for life, but she gone. Uh, but overall, looking at it, I forgot to look up. Jackie, do you have any information on how many volumes this manga
Yeah.
has sold and
So
where it
17
ranks?
volumes in Japanese, 15 in English. Part 1 does have 97 chapters, I
Uh-huh.
saw. And there's 13 story arcs. It's still ongoing, so it started, like you said, in December 2018.
Hmm.
So the first part right now is the public safety saga, as you mentioned, and now the second part is the academy saga, which follows Denji going to school.
Yeah, the school arc. Yep.
Yeah, so I don't know much about that one, but uh, they sold more than 28 million copies. And then, as you talked about previously, all of the awards, like, it's just a really great story. The art is awesome.
Hmm.
The designs for even all the devils, it's an interesting take. Does it have similar aspect? Like when I first watched Chainsaw Man, it definitely gave me a little bit of One Punch Man vibes, because in One Punch Man, you know how you have like the ranked or the different like demons or whatever that show up. I can't remember what they're
Yeah.
called right now. It's kind of similar to where you have these things just pop up randomly and that you have to get rid of.
Yeah.
And then it also reminded me, it had a little bit of Jujutsu Kaisen vibes as well, with like the task force,
The
that has
hunting them
to.
down. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it the exact same? No. But if people are interested in animes like that, I think that they would, or mangas or stories like that, I think that they would be very much interested in this one. This one I think is more less character development and more um mystery, and just like action, dark humor, and just figuring out like at least this is my opinion from what I saw in the first one, because Denji's just like, he's gonna be the way he is. He has one goal. He wants to touch some tits, and live a good life. Like, that's all he
Yeah.
wants.
Yep.
I thought that was really cool though. I mean, that, like you brought up, I mean, and I just wanted to double check because you were going over the volumes and the chapters. From what I understand from our homework, first season or first part is just chapters 1 through 38. So
Yeah.
if there's 97 chapters to the first part, we still haven't even gotten,
Right.
we're not even halfway through. But I just thought it was very interesting because I wanted to ask you both. I mean, spoiler alert moment here. Can we talk about Denji's transformation and becoming Chainsaw Man?
Yeah, we could talk about that.
Oh yeah, that's in the first. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think you
Yeah,
can, because that's in the trailer and that's in the first.
I just,
I think
it
that's
becomes a
fine.
question later too. Like, does Denji's compassion and heart, the stuff you see as him as a child, facing the stuff he had to face and the hardship he had to face and the kind of gentle innocence he had with just Pochita,
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
that's gone after his instance where he becomes Chainsaw Man, where the two merge.
Right.
And it's mentioned, is it when when he died, was his heart destroyed and he's lost all feeling and he even questions himself later. He's like, I didn't even cry. I wasn't even upset.
Mhm.
So is that a development as it goes? Because it seems like, he's very basic and visceral in all his wants and needs. Food, and of course, physical contact and sexuality.
Right.
It's very basic. It doesn't he lacks the
He's just
emotional
a
side of
teenage
it
boy, but if you think about it, it makes sense because how he grew up, he
alone.
lost his, yeah, he was completely
Yeah.
alone. So all he learned about in the world is just, I have to survive. But also it'd be nice if I could just, you know,
Have someone.
be
Yeah.
a basic dude and get
Yeah.
basic dude things like food and boobs.
Food and boobs. I mean, it's not a bad goal.
Yeah.
It's
I
not.
think I think though, because of his innocence and heart and the fact that he was willing to save, you know, like a devil, that even though, and like if you also in the first episode, like Pochita also isn't like trying to like kill a bunch of people. It looks like he's also just trying to survive
Hmm.
and not really intent on just killing. And so they're kind of like minded in that. I think that's what allows for them when they merge to be like still that innocence is still there, but the protecting people and what you love and what you need to survive is also still there because it was the same for them. And like their whole entire existence together was built off of just them two only, the
Surviving.
friendship that they have
Yeah.
survive, and like
I just,
that's it. But I
like
don't
he's
know if
still,
anything else is talked about later, and I don't want to spoil it because I also don't want to be spoiled.
yeah. I just know like he expresses that more of a deeper emotion when he refers to Pochita,
Hmm.
even after he becomes Chainsaw Man. When he thinks of him or refers back, he still has that bond. But throughout the whole thing, with the exception of physical wants like boobies, he doesn't express a whole lot of emotional attachment to anything. Pochita is pretty much the only thing from the very beginning, which is why Pochita is like my second favorite character. But I
Yeah.
mean, it's his impact or the impact of their relationship is, I feel, is what keeps him grounded in a way that he's not just like the other devils, or the other devils give into their want of destruction and consumption, where he doesn't. He has very basic wants, but I think that part of him, that relationship he shared with Pochita, is what keeps part of him grounded. The fact that he's not like later on, if you call him Samurai Sword Man or Katana Man, or whatever,
Mm.
the other individuals are driven more by their own bigger goals, which Denji himself refers to later. He says, yeah, my goals aren't all huge like the rest of you guys. I don't want to save everyone or protect everyone or get revenge. He's like, I want boobies and I want the good life. It's like
Yeah.
he's very basic, but in all actuality, he does show those other things. It's just very underlying. It's very hidden. It's very, withdrawn. And it could be like Jackie said, because he grew up, the only other thing that was in his life was Pochita at the time. So
Mhm.
to have that bond with anything else is kind of distant. But I just thought it was interesting. I wanted to see what you guys thought as his, I don't know what you call it, motivation, his drive, and whether or not he actually cares enough to make these things, or is it all just for the basic survival things that he wants?
I wouldn't know
I like.
what his real motive would be. You know, um, I mean, first, you don't want to die, right? So the zombie guys are after him, and like the crazy thing is that if oh shit, look who jumped in here. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only
Yes,
Deontay,
sir.
the
Oh, what
motherfucking
up?
giant.
What's going on?
Good
Oh,
to see you, man.
Long time no see.
That's my brother
look at
right
that.
Man,
But
it's been a hot minute.
it has,
there.
bro. It has, man. Welcome
Good
back.
to see you. Good to see you.
Almost needs no
I
introduction,
made
but I
it by
felt I needed
miracle.
to.
Oh yeah.
Appreciate you jumping on, man. Um, but now that you're here, I don't know how much you've seen or if you want to catch up. One, I guess, real quick, general overall take on the Chainsaw Man manga story, the story, anime, however you want to look at it. Everybody here, we're saying on a scale to 10, at least an 8 or higher
Mhm.
if you want it to be that way. But what are your thoughts on it, bro?
Um, I'm pretty much going to give it a 9, a solid 9, maybe a 9.5, depending on how good of mood I'm in. But Chainsaw Man is definitely up there, both manga and anime.
Cool. Um, but the point you made, Eric, like a part of me wants to feel like his motivation is to rid the world of all these devils, right? To erase fear from people, being in the situation he was in, fearing, dying from hunger, just where he's from, probably not wanting anybody else to go through something like that. But you see, once he joins the Devil Hunters and he sees Makima, like he's just like, I gotta be with her. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And without giving too much away, with I think the first 12 episodes is only like one part of the first arc, right? Because
Yeah.
38 chapters.
the second part, I guess you want to call it season 2 or however they want to label the next session of episodes coming out. A lot of things will be revealed, and you'll probably start looking at characters from the first 12 episodes that you were just like, I like them, and then you'll start looking at them like, maybe I shouldn't have liked them type stuff. But I at this point, without giving too much away, the first 12 episodes or the first, like you said, 38 chapters, I think the reader and the watcher is thinking like, Denji is probably wanting to be a hero and wanting to get rid of these evil fears that are out here manifesting, or if anything, getting rid of them so they can't be used by people who want to use them for harm. Like the Yakuza who want to make deals with all these devils to use them. So I think for me, I'm just like, he wants to be a hero, but I've never sat and really thought about what is really driving him at that point. You got anything, Jackie?
No, I think personally, I think that it started off with just a basic necessity to survive because he just needed to eat. Like that's all it was. So that's what was driving him, is to survive to the next day and feed himself and Pochita. But now that Makima has given him some type of purpose, and that purpose comes with food, but in addition to that, it's that she's just giving him like something to look forward to, and it's something he's never seen before. That's his new purpose now, and that's what's driving him now. And I think it's just very single-minded, and that it includes like helping other people because he also doesn't want people to hurt. But what's driving him to continue to do it is he's found a purpose now, instead of
Makima.
just like wondering what his life is supposed to be like.
Instead of just surviving, he's found a course for his life, a path.
Yeah.
Yeah, he goes all out for that. Whew.
Yeah.
That's a lot for
with the Makima, like being patient, because a lot of the other female characters like get the fuck away from me type stuff, but she's like patient. She's patient with him, willing to talk. She knows what he wants, right? She's just like, I'll let you touch my boobs if you go do this type stuff. So I mean, he's being used in a sense,
Yeah, she knows.
Which
Well, her whole her whole character, I think what the creator has said is she's manipulative
And
and
100%.
controlling. So
Yeah, all
what she
about
does
control.
is when she finds use of people, she's going to figure out what motivates them.
Mhm.
And so that's why she's so patient, because she knows she's going to get something out of it, and all she's got to do is dangle what it is that person wants. And it's fun for her because it's so easy to get people to listen to her and do her bidding. And so that's why her patience is there, because people are listening to what she wants and doing what she wants them to do. If her patience is gone, well, if you watch the show or read the story, you know what's going to happen.
Exactly.
Watch out for her.
And
Another
she's still very calm too, man.
another thing I
Mhm.
wanna bring up is the level of determination, or I guess how strong her manipulation is, because every time my man Denji pulls that cord and transforms, like he feels the pain of the chainsaws coming out of his. It's not like it's not like
Yeah.
Wolverine where it's a shriek and it's just like, let's go, bub. Like he feels the tearing of the skin, the bone and everything, and every time he pulls that cord, he's like, it's go time. He endures that pain in order to do what he needs to do. And the fact that I think for him, like the fuel is like the blood from like his kills, right? Because I think when he's the one episode where he's fighting the eternal devil,
The Infinity
yeah.
Devil was great. constant fuel.
And he's just down there,
Man.
just like, man, he's like, this blood is gross, but it's keeping
But I
me
can keep
going.
I'm
going.
juiced up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the devil's just like, all right, I fucking quit. It's almost like I've come to bargain with you, Dormammu. Like it was one of those things where my man is just like, I can't fucking take this shit no more. All right, you
Yeah,
win.
the devil wanted to die. It showed him his heart. It's like, go ahead and
Please
cut
kill
my
me.
heart because
Yeah.
I'm tired of the pain. Because I mean, yeah, he was endless, but that's endless pain. I
Yeah.
mean, Denji was there
Yeah.
cutting down everything for 3 days straight. You got to imagine that pain, the chainsaw pain for 3
Yeah.
days, getting stuff hacked off. I'm like,
Man.
of course he wanted to die. He's
Yeah.
like, just kill me now. Kill me now. Dog. It's like, that sucks.
But yep. So I think we beat this dead horse. Talking about the manga and the creator.
Well, I do have some fun
Oh,
facts.
Let's go with the fun facts.
Oh, man.
Okay. So the first fun fact is apparently Chainsaw Man's main protagonist Denji made a cameo in chapter 259 of My Hero Academia.
Shut
So
up.
it's in that chapter. It's when they were in the Paranormal Liberation Front raid team, and I forget what I think it's Fat Man. In that he's in the front, and right behind him you can see Denji as Chainsaw Man.
Yeah.
He's running in there in front of what's his name? I guess Fat Gum, the big
Yeah,
the
Fat Gum.
Yeah.
That's what it is, Fat Gum.
Wow.
Yeah. I was like, what? Sorry, I have a bunch. The other one is apparently the Gun Devil's death list doesn't just have like the list of random names. It also has like famous anime and manga creator names. So like the author of Golden Kamui, Satoru Noda, author of Black Clover, Yuki Tabata, author of My Hero Academia, Kohei Horikoshi, author of One Piece, Eiichiro
Eiichiro
Oda,
He was coming for
Author of a-
everybody.
author of Attack on Titan, Hajime Isayama, author of Bleach, Tite Kubo, and also the famous devil. Oh yeah, well I won't say that one. Sorry, but like it also has like it has like I didn't know that, so I was like, oh that's funny.
Yeah.
And then I guess the creator in an interview, he revealed that Makima also has a very kinky side and said that she owns a strap-on.
Hey, your boy
Wow.
Denji, he can pick him.
Oh,
Denji ain't ready for that, man.
Hey,
He's only had
Denji-
his first
Hey,
kiss.
Denji can pick him, bro. Denji's like, there's something about you, Makima.
Don't ruin his first everything, okay? His first kiss was ruined. Let's not
Yeah.
ruin his first experience, like
There's-
busting out the.
There's something about you, Makima. I gotta see what that's like, Makima.
He
Like,
gonna be
Yeah.
a changed man when she get done with him.
Yeah.
Oh man.
it's a different
And
type.
on the subject of Makima, which I thought was cool, is I guess Fujimoto always wanted Makima to be a character of his. So when he was creating like a lot of his different fantasy works and one-shots, apparently like Makima was a character that is prevalent in a lot of those one-shots. It's just not Makima for Chainsaw Man. But he already knew like what Makima was going to look like and who she was going to be like before he even started working on Chainsaw Man. He didn't know like where she was going to go. And then I guess the last couple things I have is all of the awards you were talking about. The
Yeah.
one award that I think is really cool that the series has won is the manga with the most death awards. And it was won in 2020.
Good
Was it
Lord.
just for that year or just overall the most deaths? 'Cause-
You know, I didn't do more research to see that. I think it might have been for
Might have been
just
maybe
that
on-screen
year.
death. Yeah, for
Yeah,
that
because it got
year.
awards for the best manga, best drawing, best action, but it got the manga with the most death
When was,
awards that the series won in 2020.
Because I'm trying to think, man. Attack on Titan was hitting the fucking
what I was thinking,
Aaron
too.
villain
That's-
arc where Aaron was out here just when he showed
I
up in
wonder if
Marley.
when they say death, though, they're considering like the population
Oh,
a
okay.
part of that as well, which would
Oh.
make sense.
Because I'm like,
Yeah.
bro,
I think the only thing close to that would be One Punch Man. But I don't know.
Well, I don't know. On-scene death-wise, though, I mean, like the focus, it does have a pretty high count of even when insignificant characters, like when the Yakuza guys are biting it, especially when Makima's taking care of people, she's just like, I'm
Oh.
done. I'm getting, I'm going to take
Right.
some action. Those are insignificant characters, but in most anime, when the insignificant characters die, you don't get a straight focus on it.
yeah.
I mean, they straight up showed you each of these dudes trying to run for their lives.
Yep.
They're like, oh shit, you know, and she's just like done. You know, it's
Yeah.
like, oh, those
Yeah.
guys were getting smoked, man. I mean, you could see it. I mean, it was. So I could say how they might say on screen focus on characters dying instead of just generalized. Oh, you know that city, all those people got wiped out, you know, from a hit. No,
Right.
this is you saw that dude get, you know, head smushed. It's like whoa.
Gross.
Yeah. And then the last thing is about Power, your favorite character. So I guess her character is inspired by Eric Cartman and Walter Sobchak from The Big Lebowski, which it says that's why it makes sense she's such a messed up character. And I guess her name is inspired by an angel of the Christian angelic hierarchy.
Powers, yeah, the
Wow.
judges, the powers, the okay.
So it makes sense why she's such a complex character. She's got fucking Eric Cartman.
Yeah. I just like her
Sorry about that, guys.
exaggerations and her like exaggerations and lies are just perfect. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a spoiled teenager with no love for anyone except for herself, that's where the inspiration comes from, is from that nerd.
I think throwing
Okay.
these powers and these abilities on like legit Gen Z type teenagers is hilarious to me, because like they're just like, there's no like internal motivation. Everything is like, what's in it for me? Like, I'll do
Yeah.
it, but what am I getting out of it? Instead of the intrinsic, like, I got to do this. This is what I have to do, you know? So I think that's the thing. And I think that's what Makima just not praise on, but just uses to her advantage is,
Yeah.
if you do this, then this. And they're just like, well, fuck it. Okay, I'll do it then, as long as I get this from it. You
What
know?
else
yeah,
I
it's
gotta
very
do?
simple
Yeah.
control, like conditioning control, like you do with a dog. You know, you do this for me, you get a prize. And she likes that they're very, I mean, I think Aki's different because she knows he's driven by his own motivations that are more I don't know.
Personal.
Yeah, driven by his past. So he's not as easily manipulated.
Yeah.
Because if you notice, like she trusts him, she knows he does his job, but she doesn't spend a lot of time trying to convince him or make him do things, because he's more, she knows I could just let the leash off and he's going. You know what I mean? He's driven by his own, he doesn't need that reward.
Yeah.
His reward is getting to pursue his revenge. So, but yeah, she's definitely, the manipulation is just amazing.
Yeah, it's not a whole lot of Dekus on this squad that are just out here trying to be the best hero for humanity. These dudes are like, I'll do it, but what am I getting out of it? So
Yeah.
with that being said, it is time for us to get into the anime that was beautifully done and drawn by Mappa, and some amazing music that I'm sure Jackie cannot wait to talk to you all about. So
He knew this.
yeah, 100%. I was like, oh, she's gonna love this.
Watching this, I was like, yeah, Jackie's gonna be all on it.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get into our anime adaptation segment. All right, Jackie. As always for this, we'll start off with the music. So openings and all 12 closings. What you got for us?
Well, there's only one opening.
Banger,
called-
though. Banger.
Yeah. Kickback by Kenshi Yonezu. And I tried to see if he did any others. I didn't see
He did.
he did any other openings for any other anime, but then I did start focusing on the closings a lot. So
Oh,
So
yeah.
the opening for Kenshi, he did the second opening for My Hero, the peace sign.
Ah!
Yeah.
So he knocked that one out because that's the only opening from
Yeah.
My Hero that I fuck with.
Yeah.
As bad as that sounds.
Yeah, the visuals. The visuals for the opening are insane too, because there's all
Yeah.
these different movie references that's in it. And
That-
I counted what I researched was 16 different references. I have them
wow.
all.
Yeah.
Are we
Yeah.
ready for him?
But he's also done, I
We
think,
knew you would. We knew you'd have them.
several other openings, but they're from lesser known. Like, I don't want to say lesser known animes that I haven't watched. Like, what is it? The Line in March or something like that. One of those.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so he's done openings for not lesser. I keep saying that lesser known that I don't know about. But it's not like he's not really out there like hitting a lot of the mainstream ones, modern day ones, I guess. So, but I do feel like Kickback did kind of put him on the
Yeah.
map, and I think he's about to get a couple more openings.
Yeah, that was a
recognition,
really
yeah.
fun opening. It was different, and didn't realize it had so many of the references to the movies until like I was like researching it. So the first, this is not in order, but I'll just talk about it. Like the opening shot, I'm not too familiar with this, but it makes a reference to Divine Comedy, which is the literary masterpiece by an Italian poet named Dante Alighieri. Which his work just tells a tale about a pilgrim who goes through the stages of the afterlife, hell, purgatory, and heaven. So when Denji's pulling on his cord, there's an illustration of that art that's in the background, and that's what that
Very, very
is
famous.
a reference
Yeah.
to, and it's talking about the cunningness of a politician, the eighth circle of hell, which makes sense because he's a devil, so it's already like starting off with that.
Yeah.
And then of course, Chainsaw Massacre's in there. So when Denji's sitting there holding Pochita as he's sitting down, like instead of it being like the rotting corpse on a monument that's in the movie, it's instead Denji that's holding Pochita, which is also kind of ironic because Pochita's dead, but he's inside him, so you can say that he's kind of rotting inside of him if you want. And then Pulp Fiction with the gun. Yeah, that was sick. Then you have another Tarantino scene when Makima and everyone's walking through the empty Tokyo streets. So that's Reservoir Dogs.
The best Tarantino.
Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, so that one right there. Look at that. And then, sorry, where else are we going for? There's the chain. Yep, there's Pulp Fiction. Oh, that one. Sorry, pause. That's 3 references for.
She's like
5,
pause.
6.
Hold on. Let me.
So many. Right there.
Okay.
So this one, as they're going into that hole, this is a Japanese reference. Sorry, I didn't put this in. Oh yeah, it's a bone-chilling reference to a lesser-known Japanese horror film. Oh wait, that's different. Hold on, I think I'm. I forget what this one is. Go to the next one. Okay, this one right here is based off of, I think it's Constantine. Hold on.
I thought it had something to do with like the old timey doctors.
Yeah.
Used to wear those masks.
This gave me the I don't know if you guys.
No, here it is. I found it. It's this has to do with the Coen brothers, No Country for Old Men. Follows the fictional killings of hitman Anton Chigurh in 1980s West Texas. Even with the simple act of moving his shoes, Chigurh has a cold and distant look on his face, which Chainsaw Man reimagines with its masked character, Galgali.
Oh.
So that's what that's based off of. Okay, now I'm in here. So the car scene right here, this is with Leonardo DiCaprio, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which is pretty sick. This one is with I think this is with Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. I think it's
because look at the poster over here.
Yes, which, believe it or not, the first devil that Denji kills is a tomato devil.
Yep.
Man.
This one is Don't Look Up. For the
Netflix.
Yeah, the Japanese, lesser known Japanese horror film. It's called it involves around a film crew that's being haunted by a pale woman dressed in white. The iconic scene shows actress whatever, and the supporting actress is possessed by the ghost laughs maniacally in the background, which was Power.
Yeah.
And then this one is Jacob's Ladder. So I guess this scene is referenced, shows Jacob's final moments when he returns home. He's reuniting with his son, who's patiently waiting on the stairs. In reality, the soldier was inside a triage tent where doctors soon declared his passing. So this is Jacob's Ladder. This one has to do with Constantine. This one's Constantine.
Yeah, Constantine. Okay.
Yes. And then this is just a reference to a chapter of them saying at the movie. A lot of the next few scenes are just like the manga and anime itself. It's nothing any crazy.
Mm-hmm.
The next one is going to be when they're about to go bowling, and that is in reference to the Big Lebowski right here.
Yeah, I knew this was Big Lebowski.
Yep. And then after this, okay, so this one, I read something that this was in reference to Thor, the most recent one. Rockstar, I can't remember what that one's called
Love and Thunder.
because of
Love and Thunder.
the way that it was like presented, but I couldn't find that anymore when I Googled it. So someone talked about
The lettering kind of matches the whole.
yeah, it was
series,
the
but
lettering.
yeah.
Some people said they think it was Thor, but I could not get that confirmed. This was nothing. This was just a regular anime. And then if you keep going, there's one where he's like bursting out of something and there's like blood everywhere. Which is, keep going. That one's nothing. Nope.
I think these are just the action shots from.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which are
keep
pretty dope.
going.
I'm gonna let those
Okay,
ride
so
you
it's
can see
after
them.
this one. He's bursting out, and that one is to Neon Evangelion, which I'll tell you in a second. It's coming up, I think, right here. Yeah, right here. So as he's bursting out right here, that's in reference to Neon Evangelion. And then the next one is That Ball, which is to do with Fight Club.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so if you press play, you'll see it rolling, and then that's like where the reference is from, is Fight Club. It goes the next scene right here. Yeah.
Yep.
So as it's going, that's where you got Fight Club, and then the last one, it did do like, we just don't know this. It was it came full circle with a nod to the latest one-shot manga by the Chainsaw author. The opening sequence shows Power walking away from a fire explosion, so apparently that's similar to a iconic scene that's in Goodbye Eri, which is a manga that explores sensitive topics such as death and mourning through a teenager known as Utah, the aspiring filmmaker, tries to cope with the mother's illness and death by documenting the events, but not everyone is pleased with his creative efforts. The scenes may be going off the cliche trope that cool guys don't look at explosions. Also, there's that too. But for the case of Utah, the explosion acts as a cathartic moment in his life. So it's a little bit of a nod to one of his one shots. So a lot of references. I thought it was pretty sick.
I mean, some of those references
90 seconds of animation, and they crammed so much pop culture into it. Brilliant.
Yeah.
It's surprising to see how much
Western cinema,
Western 90s cinema, influences they focused on there. Because I mean, Reservoir Dogs is, I mean, it's, to me that's probably Tarantino's best, and I felt that vibe with when the groups are together. Like one of my favorite things about this is how
their uniforms and stuff. It's just the when they're on mission, but before anything really kicks off, it feels like a slice of life kind of show. Like they just go out to eat, they go and wake up in the morning, and it's very slice of life like, and you get to see character interaction more so, like you mentioned character building and so forth, but this is more like it's building that unity or the cohesion of the group, or the failure to have cohesion, where you see Denji and Power living with Aki and it's just like total chaos. But you get to see that, and you don't see that often. So I thought that build was awesome, because it shows like his focus on characters is great.
Yeah, I don't. It was very interesting, like I said before, like to see this guy like take Western pop culture and put it into an anime like this. Never would have thought that would ever happen. I thought it was super cool. It makes sense because he's my age, so I guess he's with it. I don't know.
Boo.
But I do want to. But the thing is, I don't even watch movies, so half the references, like I haven't even seen any of those movies. So
that's what I mean.
Really,
They're older movies.
They have any effect on me.
Yeah.
92, 93, we're saying for his birthday. I mean, you're talking Big Lebowski, Fight Club, all these movies. He was a child.
I have seen Fight Club, but I haven't seen like The Big Lebowski. I haven't seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which I think is a remake. The most recent one is a remake, isn't it?
Sort of. It's based on the original. But
yeah.
There's some Tarantino-isms.
Yeah.
Yeah, Reservoir Dogs is my favorite reference.
Exactly. Reservoir Dogs is probably Tarantino's best work.
Yeah.
most cohesive work throughout the whole movie. Whereas some of his stuff goes off into the batshit crazy, like Dusk Till Dawn, where you're like, bank robbery, 2 guys, then suddenly it's vampires in Mexico. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so, I mean, Reservoir Dogs though is probably one of the best ever dialogue between people. That's why I felt it when these characters have that going. You know, like that's what carries Reservoir Dogs. They don't even know each other's names in the movie, but their interaction and the dialogue between them makes that movie like unmatched when it comes to that. And his bringing the characters together and their interactions reminded me of that. It was like really good.
Before we start talking about the ending, since Deontay just got on here, you have your
Again?
shot, Monsieur.
I do have a shot.
Oh, my man jumped
Okay.
in late and was prepared. Let's go.
Okay, ready,
I
dude,
stayed
man.
strapped.
Let's go.
I got a
Hey,
second, so I got to
cheers,
use the
man.
smoke pit one for this one.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I got
I got my
second.
little poppy. Post Malone basically decided that the wild berry poppy is his soda, by the way. So,
Is
Wow.
it lit?
I love poppies. They're freaking amazing.
Well, you're
Well,
okay.
Well, I have to give them a shot.
I don't know if
Poppies
they would.
make
I don't know if
opium,
they
so-
would appeal to my
Yeah.
40-year-old, sense of taste. So.
Palate, your
My palate.
Gen X palate.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
to
Hey.
that. Kanpai. All right. Endings. The coolest thing that this anime could have ever done is what I haven't seen any anime ever do this. Not only did they have 12 endings for each, so an ending for each episode, a different one.
A different song.
They also had a different
song.
animation or style to
Yeah.
go with that song, and it was about like different characters too. And I thought that was like the coolest thing. I don't think we realized that was a thing until episode 3.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
at first I'm
Because,
just like, bro,
I had to
like,
go back and check it.
do I skip
Yeah.
I was
this?
like, did they already change the song? I was like, what?
Do I
Yeah.
skip this or do I let it ride? Like normally
Yeah.
you pick up like this is the ending. Do I like it or not? I can skip credits. But
Right.
now I'm just like,
But most of the endings were pretty sick. And
Mhm.
if you like a lot of these types of shows, like it makes sense why you would like a lot of the endings. So I won't go through all of them, but some notable band, like J-pop bands, are there you go. You got Chainsaw Blood by Vondi. So they're most notable for doing One Piece movie Red, as well as the opening for Ranking of Kings. Ranking of
Nice.
Kings.
yep.
Number 2 is that one. So those band members, apparently, fun fact about these band members, this is kind of cool. They obscure their appearance and they perform behind a translucent screen when they go live, so no one knows what they actually look like.
Damn.
They're all mysterious.
Mhm.
These guys, so if you remember what Maximum the Hormone is, they did opening 2 of Death Note, What's
Yep.
Up People, which in my personal opinion is my favorite opening. And then I never watched DBZ Resurrection F, but they did that one as well. The next few are not very known. They're more Vocaloid producers, so this is 4, 5, and 6, but they're best known for using Hatsune Miku, and Tsukimichi Moonlit Fantasy is also one.
Mhm.
Number 7, Chu Tayose by Ano. I've never watched Tiger and Bunny 2, but that's the only thing I could find that this artist has done any type of music for.
Yeah.
And then the last few endings, you start getting into your notable
TK.
ones. So you got like, TK, so that's 91
Mhm.
Days, and of course Tokyo Ghoul Unravel, which I think a lot of people will argue sometimes is one of the best like openings.
Let's not.
Yes.
Let's
I
not do
disagree.
that.
We can talk about that a different time.
Yeah.
I liked it. I would say it's one of the best. Aimer is like, I would say Aimer, Queen Bee, and
Banger.
Eve are your top 3. Aimer is one of those ones, man. Like
Demon
Fate Stay
Slayer.
Night, Vinland Saga, season 2 opening of Fire Force,
Talk
like
about
opening
it.
3 of Sound Demon Slayer, which is my
Talk
one of
about
my
it.
favorite openings because I love that season because I love the sound Hashira. It's such a fun arc. I like that character, him. If you like watching Spice and Wolf, I watched it back when it first came out. They reanimated it, so it's a little bit different. And then of course, Ranking of Kings again. Dogland by People One. I think they only did Chainsaw. I could not find anything else by them. And then Queen Bee. If you are a Dororo fan, like Queen Bee is fucking it.
Lit.
They also did Devilman Crybaby, Tokyo Ghoul Re, which I don't really like Tokyo Ghoul Re, but whatever. Undead Luck, if you watch that, that's on my watch list. Oshinoko, I'm currently watching that. It's fucking messed up. And then last one, Fight Song by Eve, which
JJK.
praise be JJK, Promised Neverland, second opening of Dororo, MHA, which this is personally my opinion, the best season of MHA, okay, because that is where you got Dark Deku, and this is also when I personally think it's one of the best openings. And also, they did the opening for Bubble. If you haven't watched that movie, it's about some parkour shit with some chick that comes down in a bubble from outer space. You should watch it. It's on Netflix. I liked it. It was great. I found so many songs and also random artists that I was like, this is cool. So I just started adding them to like, my list.
Yeah, and then you look it up and it shows all these suggestions of other artists that are similar, and it's just like this rabbit hole.
The best
It's
rabbit
just-
hole. That's the best rabbit hole to
there's a
go
lot.
down.
It's just cool. It was cool, and I actually was rewatching Chainsaw Man today while I was working, because I worked from home. I did. No, I really did. I worked from home. I logged on and I started doing shit, and I put it in the background. But I put it on English dub, which I did not watch it English dub the first time. But I put English dub just because I wasn't gonna be able to pay attention to it, so I wanted it there.
You watched it sub first, right?
Yes, I did.
Was it
Still
comparable?
prefer the sub. Dub actually wasn't that bad. I did not hate the dub.
Okay.
Didn't hate it.
I had to watch it dub, and I had to turn off the subtitles because they were so off.
They're different.
They're
Yeah.
so bad. I mean,
That
I
is
don't
the
know
one
if
thing
it's
I noticed, even when listening in
Crunchyroll
the
is the
background.
worst with that. When you watch,
Yeah.
They really
when
are.
you
Not
watch
even
the dub,
close,
you're like,
man.
you're not even. Turn this off.
I know it ruins it. I was like, "Who's McQuire?" Every time they're talking to Machima, it's a different name. He's like, "Lady Machima, Lady McQuire." I was like, "What? What?"
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
there's a list of things that Crunchyroll gets in troubles for, and that is the number one thing with everybody.
like, bitch, why am I paying you $100+ fucking dollars a year to be your super fan, and you can't even get the subtitles right? Like, what's going on? I've been your biggest fan for like 10 years now.
Jackie
What
is
is happening?
10 toes down. Like they sent her shades when she showed me her membership
Oh.
kit. I was like, "Where the fuck is mine?" She's like, "Are you a super fan?" And I went and looked at it. I was like, "Nah, I'm cool, bro." Jackie is 10 toes
Yeah,
down.
man, I'm
for
a super fan.
Crunchyroll.
I've been a super fan. Fuck these guys.
She put her
Crunchyroll,
shades on.
get
I
it
want those.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, it was really cool. Like, I think all the artists that they selected, like, there was not a bad song, in my personal opinion, that they picked for the
they all
ending.
fit really good.
I just
all
to the,
fit.
to the scenes. And
when shows just take the creative like chance to do that, because like you said, I watched the first one and then the second episode starts the same opening, it ends. I'm just like, am I tripping? Is this
Yeah.
the?
Yeah.
And then I
You
let
have to
it.
go back to the first episode. You're
I
like,
let it ride
no, this
because
is different.
I'm not paying two. It's
Yeah.
episode 2. Episode 3 comes and I'm just like, oh, I'm hella tripping now. Like, let me go back
Yeah.
and let me Google this, and they're just
you're like looking
yes,
at your
there's a different ending for every episode. I'm just like, that is
make sure I
that
didn't
is
drink too much.
brilliant.
It's
You
like-
know, that is brilliant. Like not
Yeah.
even a new
Yeah.
song, the animation, a new
The
a new
art.
art. The I'm just like, bro, I'm in.
it
This-
really
this is
made
the
each
shit.
episode seem so significant
Yes.
and different.
And unique to
Yes,
to
exactly.
that character, and it was about that. Like, there's episodes that you'll get where you want to focus on certain characters sometimes and go into their backstory and whatever you want to highlight. They felt like they really wanted to highlight. This is very similar to Jujutsu Kaisen, where the main character isn't the primary focus. They're still putting so much focus on all of the secondary, tertiary, even quadriary characters that somehow you find such an incredible attachment to still, and you like their way of thinking, and then just bam, something happens.
Yeah, it makes you buy into it. It really does. It brings depth to the whole thing. So you're not just like, oh, Jeff died.
Yeah.
Who? What?
So one thing actually, fun fact for me is I actually didn't know if I was gonna like this anime, because when I watched the trailer, when he transforms, it's so like stiff and 3D like, in the trailer, and I was like, damn, dude, I don't think I'm gonna like this. Like, I think the animation's gonna kind of suck. And this was the first anime where I saw that the animation was going more realistic, like 3D, like, because I think it's RWBY is kind of like that, which is why I stopped watching it. But I heard it's really great. I didn't like the animation.
Mm.
But I see some animes doing this sometimes, and I was afraid that, like, oh, this is it. This is now what we're going to. This is what animation's going to look like. This is frustrating. Which I'm glad it hasn't been doing that. Like, Madhouse has been one of those ones that their art is like really gorgeous. But um, I feel like if you watch Sailor Moon Crystal, they did the same thing for the transformations. They made them more 3D like, and I was like, I'm not with this. This is weird looking. But then they switched back to the normal art style of just like, whatever, and it was way better. I think they kind of started doing that a little bit with Chainsaw Man, but they did still keep the realism and the detail and the art still at like a level that was beyond what we're used to, that it didn't it still looks really great. So at first, when I started watching this, or I was getting ready to, I did not think I was gonna like it,
Mm.
just because of that.
Well, here's where I'm at. Like, there are certain anime studios when they're just like, it's gonna be animated by this studio. Like, I'm gonna give it 100% a shot. Like, Mappa's one of them. Even though, say how you feel about them, there's some controversies with Mappa as far as workload they're giving people, scheduling, the culture there, coming under scrutiny, all of that good stuff. Low pay for like veteran animators and stuff. But then even some of the anime that they claim to have produced, they were just more. They weren't really providing much except like a few things. So to the point where it's like, did you even put in on this Mappa? But
Yeah.
of course, they're one of the bigger companies, so they're like Mappa, like EA, I guess. When like Respawn does Titanfall, EA's like, that's us. Like, no, it's fucking Respawn. You guys suck. But I mean, you look at their track record though. Like when you hear Mappa, you hear Ufotable, you hear Wiz or Wit, you hear Project ID. Certain studios where I'm just like, I'm gonna tap in and see how it does. I do agree with you, Jackie. When I was first looking at it, it just gave me small hints of the Berserk remake with the full CGI stuff, and I'm just like, bro, I am not a fan when you go full CGI and it's not good, bro. That is how you fuck that whole thing up. Like they messed Berserk up so much.
Yeah, like the full CGI Berserk was like, the action felt so forced and puppeted. Like it just took it away. Like you're just like, oh, they're fighting. Like
picking up his sword is just like like there's no emotion in it. He's just like,
it's really bad.
Yeah.
And I mean, it can be done right. I mean, you've seen CGI used to the extent where it can be done right. When you see stuff like the Advent Children movie
Final
that
Fantasy,
they made. Yeah, the Appleseed total CGI for Appleseed. I can't remember which one it was, but they were done really well. But that's a movie that they could take all the time to, each frame they put focus on. But when you get to a series, if you do that too much, you end up with stuff like that Berserk, where it's just like, it felt fake. It looked like a cut scene from a PS2 game. You're like,
yeah,
what?
It's like Final Fantasy VII, like the fucking
like
cutscenes when Sephiroth shows up. You're like,
hey, Final Fantasy VII.
No, 100%. My favorite story. My favorite story. But going back and playing the PS1 version, and you
don't get me wrong.
Yeah, don't get me. Hey, bro,
it's bad. It's pretty blocky. It's like that was the foreshadowing of Minecraft and Roblox.
Oh my god! And we went back. Man. We went back and made Roblox and Minecraft.
There were like polygons. Polygons. We could put them in games.
Started on Seven Deadly Sins.
Probably like flip out.
The Seven Deadly Sins took a turn for the worse because of shit like that.
Bro, they went to
a movie come out last year.
They went to my son's second grade class and was like, "Do you guys want to try and draw some shit? And then we'll just we'll make this the thing." But like if you don't know, Mappa does have like some heavy hitters and stuff. I mean, you say stuff like Attack on Titan, the first 3 seasons, God of High School. say what you want about the story, the animation and the fights, like
Incredible.
next level type stuff.
Yeah.
JJK, need I say more with that stuff?
Nope.
Attack on Titan season 4,
Shinjuku is
Chainsaw
gone.
Man, Vinland Saga, Hell's Paradise. You know, like
I
list,
fucking love Hell's Paradise.
Yeah, I love the animation in that. It is
like,
beautifully done.
yeah.
Beautifully
I mean, they do fucking work. So Mappa's on this. I give it a shot. Again, the trailer, I'm looking at it. I'm just like, oh, fucking, like Mappa, you fucking up.
Yeah, I didn't know.
But,
I was like, dude, I hope not.
I saw the opening. I saw the opening, and I saw how fluid that was, and I'm just like, I'll give it a shot. And I was not disappointed. Very well done. Very well animated. Is 100% of the gore from the manga in the anime? No, but there's enough of it to where you're just like, I get the source material is a bit darker, a bit more gory, you know,
Yeah, it's
because
A1.
this stuff still
Yeah,
has
there's like
to
one
air.
because there's one scene too that's pretty disgusting.
Yeah,
That's censored, but I think in the manga it's not.
it's not.
Mhm.
Which scene is that?
Well, I don't want to say it because I'd rather
Oh,
people watch
okay.
and
Yeah,
Like
I was
just
episode
as-
1.
I just want them to be just as
teaser,
surprised as
yeah.
I was, and just as like I had to pause and I had to like
Yeah,
I couldn't believe I saw that.
Yeah.
it's
I read the manga first too, and
Oh,
like,
you
when
did?
I saw,
Okay,
yeah, I when I heard that it got announced that it was going to be Mappa Studios, baby,
right.
I was like, oh my god, I might be locked in on this.
Yeah,
It sounds like a brilliant idea. Like Mappa couldn't have been a better studio to do this TV series, and
I would say
it-
that's probably spot on because they picked up the Attack on Titan and
Mhm.
they did not hold back on the Titan biting down on you. You're just like, oh, you showed that.
No.
oh
Like,
yeah,
I thought you were just gonna do this and then cut to somebody
Yeah.
being like,
Do
but
they
no,
get
it's
the same censorship over in the Japanese release that we get.
I don't know if
I
it's
know-
censored
No,
on
'cause-
Japanese network, but I know
Well,
like
no, because Crunchyroll doesn't censor. There's still some stuff. There's some mature shit that you can watch,
yeah.
depending on what it is.
Oh,
like,
okay.
bro,
I
high
forget
school
what's on
D&D
there.
be over here, bro.
Yeah,
And it gives you
But
that
I think
warning.
it's
It'd be
just-
like, yo, there's some shit in this show. Push play if you
Yeah.
want.
it's a good
Mhm.
show though.
That's a
So-
whole nother topic. I be trying to
I
tell
was gonna say,
people
did you
about shows
read-
like that.
Steven
far
always
did you
asks me,
read,
he's like,
Bianca?
"You like that? That's what you're into?" I'm like, "It's a good story."
The story's good, Steven. Never mind the boobs. The
Yeah,
plot
alright.
is amazing.
Also, who doesn't like
Well,
boobs?
that was
Alright, I really like boobs. Let me like boobs.
There's a lot of complaints, or the people like me and Willie were talking before the show.
Uh-huh.
You know, a lot of people were dropping these things like, oh, it's just a perverted shonen that is driven by that, and I'm like, you obviously didn't watch the whole thing to get the idea, because I think when Jackie and Willie and I were talking earlier, that's just establishing Denji's drives and what Denji knows. But if you're gonna stop right there, you don't ever learn
Mhm.
that he's growing too. He starts changing and wanting more, or wanting this, or you know what I mean. But you have to start it somewhere, and that was part of his story. You wouldn't know the struggle of him growing, and like Jackie mentioned, he's 16 years old, man. He's gonna want to touch a boob.
Yeah.
No, come on, let's be real here. But you had some purists on there that are so angry about that, like it's just a play to get some perv stuff on. I'm like, yo, man,
Come on,
there's
man.
a lot worse stuff out there. If you-
Bro.
way worse.
way weird.
Is there? I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe.
like what's the name of that
I get
anime with the
scared.
girl with the suit with like the lingerie armor on? Kill a Kill.
Oh,
It-
bro.
Oh, I love that. That
Feel it.
anime's sick.
Studio
It's so
Trigger is
sick.
one of my favorite animation studios out there. But yeah, it's one of those where you're watching it, you're just like, oh damn, you naked. I mean, even
her
even
best friend.
even certain, like, you got a Kami got killed, right? And you're just like, man, this is deep. People are dying. I'm feeling a certain way. And then S Death shows up and you're just like, bro, she got some big ass titties. Like,
Oof, man.
this is what you wear to fight. I'm not mad, but
Yeah.
Well, it's
Also,
obviously
she's on
it's a
some S
target.
and M shit too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it makes sense. It's a target. I mean,
Yeah.
only an idiot would think sex. Like, oh,
it's
sex
not
doesn't
going to
sell.
get 100%.
Come on. You gotta
But-
be a moron not to.
Whoever said anime was, that's also for people who think anime is for kids. This shit is not.
I haven't
That's
watched
not
one.
for
Bruh.
kids.
I just
Ever.
tell people, yo, Ninja Scroll. That's all I'm gonna say.
Ninja Scroll.
Watch that
Oh
shit
my
and
God.
watch
The
that
first-
and
the
tell
first
me it's
few
for
minutes,
kids.
You're like,
Dad,
Yeah.
is this a cartoon I could watch?
yeah.
You
Dad,
gonna
what
take
the
your
fuck?
ass to bed right now?
Boy, what you doing? Dad, can I have some water? What are you watching? Go to bed. You know?
Go to bed.
Drink out the bathroom sink, goddammit.
Like your dad, your cartoon's on. Like, don't watch that.
Get
Get out of here.
even what is it? Food Wars. Like you're just watching that, and then all of a sudden they bite
Oh,
into
I
a
love that show, man.
they bite into
Oh
a
my
biscuit,
God.
and now they naked. You just like, yo, lady, it's grits.
Yeah, dude.
It's
I'll
grits.
get naked for
Calm
some
down.
food, man.
Man.
Who
It's
knew the biscuits
relatable.
had that
It's
power?
relatable when you take that first bite.
I mean, I
First
get
bite,
it,
Bessie.
but I mean,
Mm.
the noises
Now
they
I'm coming
make,
in my pants.
bro. My wife is like, what are you like? I'm just, babe, it's a food. It's
Happens to everyone.
Watch it with me. You'll
You just gotta be like,
understand.
I'm finding new recipes for the family.
Don't take that to Thanksgiving. It's gonna be
Yeah.
a strange Thanksgiving.
Like,
Oh,
babe,
man.
our relationship needs a little spice. I want you to be open to something
Right.
new.
But back to Chainsaw Man. You know, Mappa, they knocked it out the park with this one. I feel being able to bring just enough of the gore, some of the intense images from the manga to the animated side, just enough to where you can understand how dark this thing can get to, and then I guess not as dark enough to get it like banned from television, so it doesn't air on whatever. Because if they wanted to go completely red ban, it would have been like a straight to video type stuff. Like most of the joints from late 80s, early 90s was just like, original video adaptation. Like this is not being, you got to show ID to buy this shit,
Yeah.
So I do appreciate it. And like Eric was talking about, doing a good job with the voice actors. I know I just watched the sub, but I just feel the emotion is always just better from the original like dialect it was supposed to be written in. Not saying that some English voice actors don't nail it, but I always give it the attempt, and I'm just like, man, they couldn't have done a better job pairing the voice actors to the characters they're representing, and then also just bringing them to life and via the animation to where you grow attached. Like I think everybody here, I don't know about Deontay, but everybody here is kind of like Power's the character that kind of drew them in the most of the first 12 episodes, trying to figure out what she's about and everything like that. So I don't know if you had a favorite character from the Devil Hunter crew.
Man, I was day one Dingy. I don't know
Yeah.
what it is about Dingy, man, but I it's just something about him, man, that I'm just hooked on.
But yeah, I mean
Man.
he's a close second. Just knowing his upcoming and his struggle, the grind he was on, and getting to where
Yeah.
he's at. Like you
The
can't help
struggle
but
is-
to root for him.
I actually like Hayakawa. I like Aki the most.
Aki
Every
really?
time like I'll take pictures, I always do this symbol a lot when I take pictures. I just think like his power is so cool. Dude goes kon and then just boom.
Yeah.
Dog.
Aki's
Big
cool,
ass
but
bite
Aki
taken
is a
out,
trope
yeah.
that you see a lot of Aki, or you see Aki is that trope that you see repeated in other, so
Yeah, like in
He's
JJK,
cool.
he's very much
Yeah.
like
Megumi.
Takahashi or whatever.
I think Denji talks to you because of the fact that like you mentioned, the struggle, you see him, and it's he's so basic in what he wants that it's endearing to see that he's so satisfied with even the smallest of things. It makes you root for him when he you're like, oh man, this guy, all he wants is a kiss. He's willing to go to the ends of the earth to get his first kiss, and you're like, even though he can be an asshole, you're like,
Yeah,
you feel for him, you're like, it's I like I said, my favorite's Power. Probably my second was Pochita, just because I mean
I
that
love
thing
Pochita.
is the
Doggo.
cutest little devil you've ever seen.
Oh yeah.
I made a pumpkin out of him. I sent it to the group chat.
Yeah.
But I mean, anyone else get the feel? I got to look at his name again. The older devil hunter that ends up being like an instructor or like
He's played by Kishiro
Kishibe.
Kishibe. Did anyone else get Constantine or Hellblazer vibes off of him?
Dude, I love that. I
Yes,
love him as a
absolutely.
character. That guy's
Yeah,
sick. I
was
like him a
yo,
lot.
man, he strikes me as Hellblazer. Like
They
I was
picked
like-
the best voice actor for him too. So I'm
Yeah.
like,
it was
absolutely
very well done. I mean, the introduction and the whole like where you go through the normal training montage that gets boring as hell. This was a lot more interesting and applicable. It wasn't so
Yeah.
cliched of a training montage. He gets introduced, you see him occasionally here and there, but when he actually starts to become a regular face, it isn't just that old cliche of, hey, I'm your master, I'm master so and so, and you're gonna study with me forever. He takes it to him. It's like
Yeah.
right on the spot.
Yep, you're gonna learn.
You know who Digi reminds me of actually?
Who's that?
Monkey D. Luffy. He's pretty much this generation's Luffy because Luffy's. All you got to do is give him something to eat, and he'll liberate an entire fucking country. It's
Well,
like, damn.
I mean,
Super toast.
I think Luffy has a little bit of like that intrinsic motivation. Like he's like, I'll say, what's that first arc? Is it Arlong Park?
Yeah.
When Nami is like, man, I fucked up. Like I did this. I was working for these dudes, and Luffy's just like, man, nobody fucking with my crew like that.
No.
Put the hat on her head. He was like, I'll take care of this shit. Like that was without Nami being like, I'm gonna do this for you. I'm gonna do that. He's just like, nah, let me go take care of this. Like you a member of the Straw Hats. I got you. You down.
So I'm about to fold this fish man real quick.
Yeah. So it's things like that. I can see a little bit of Luffy in him. The whole motivation, like, bro, I'm hungry. Like, just feed me. Just give me this, and I'm straight. But like when it gets time for Luffy to be like, let me do the right thing for this reason. Yeah, and granted, at the end of the bigger arc, like, I'm gonna do this because you're gonna help me be a part of my crew to help me be king of pirates. But at that moment, like, Luffy's like, nah, we ain't going down like that. Let me take care of business.
I'm gonna spin the block for my friends.
Yeah, that way, it's kind of like Aki as far as taking care of his people.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could see that. He's stand out. Like even though he wasn't really cool with Denji was his people. So like he was willing to go that extra mile, take whatever's got to be done because it's his people. So you see that too. So that made him an interesting character as well. He's he wasn't bogged down by just his own prejudices or likes and wants. He looked at it as, this is my team. I'm gonna keep them all together. I'm gonna keep them all alive. And I thought that was cool.
Their loyalty is unmatched.
Yeah.
But ladies and gentlemen, you heard us at the beginning talking about the story and everything, and now we just talked about the music and the animation and the voice acting. So you can probably see why we feel it's up there 9.5 according to Deontay the Giant, depending on his mood. But any final words on like if you want to put it over for the audience who hasn't seen it, any final things you want to say about this before we move on to recommendations for some of the other anime we've been checking on?
Not that I haven't said already.
Well, watch this now while you still have the chance, because when they drop season 2, shit's about to get even crazier. And also,
there's a movie coming out.
Yep, it's the Raise arc. So
I think it's coming after the next season, I believe. I think they want to.
I don't know.
I think they want to finish, or they want to finish this arc because it's this arc, school arc, and then so I don't know if they're just going to let. Because I know they announced it last year. I don't know if they announced a release date for it, but based on the arc it's supposed to be, like, I don't see it coming out anytime soon unless they want to be kind of out of order with how they do stuff.
Yeah,
I do appreciate them using an actual arc from the story to do a movie and not be like My Hero and just throw like random movies out there and stuff. Because
I just read something.
What's
apparently there is not going to be a season 2 because over the weekend at Jump Fest 2024, it was revealed that the manga's next arc will be that film.
Oh,
So that Chainsaw Man, the
film, the-
movie,
are they
Red's
not
arc,
doing the school
that's-
arc? They're okay. Oh, all right.
That's what I'm
Strike
reading right now
one.
because it said that the
Strike-
second season was supposed to come out in 2024, but it is 2024, and I haven't seen shit.
Strike one.
Oh god!
Don't
Last
start-
time I seen anything, I thought they said May 2025, but I could be tripping.
I'm trying to look.
It's hard
man.
to find a solid
last-
answer as to the next step.
Oh,
Because I mean,
trying
I
to
was
find-
on that. And
Trying
that
to
was,
find solid anime news on the
Yeah, I
internet.
know.
Oh.
'cause you get so many rumors, but I mean, I think that's one of the things. And my parting comment would be, as far as the series goes, I walked into this impressed, and I read, saw
Right.
the reviews and so forth. I was impressed with the art. As you're walking in, the music, like Jackie talked about, the voice acting, like Willie talked about. But for me to watch a series and the series to grow on me more to the point where I rate it higher, and me waiting for the second season, I would go from an 8 or 8.5 to like a 9, just seeing what's next, because I'm waiting for that. That's how
Right.
much I liked it.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, my parting thing is watch it, like Deontay said, watch it now so you're ready for whatever comes next, because it's worth it. It only gets better as it goes on, instead of some of the other shows where you're like, oh man, this thing was out the gate, it was it was
Promise
on
Neverland.
it, and then then you get a drop off. This wasn't. I didn't have a drop off. I want more. So I think it's an 8 to 8.5. With the next stuff coming, it's going to be a 9. It's just,
oh yeah.
you're ready.
absolutely.
You want to know. You want to feel more.
Exactly.
This is why I
Like
push
Denji,
for him
you
to
want to
have
feel
a-
more, just like Denji wants to feel more. You just want to.
This is why I push for them to make like a console video game, because like
Oh, yeah.
Denji's boss battles are insane. So if they turn that into a video game, it would sell out.
The powers alone, I thought the diversity among the different devil hunters, I thought that was awesome too. Just like the ghost devil power, when it's
Oh.
first shown, you're like, oh, what is that, telekinesis or some stuff? You were just, my mind
Yeah.
was racing. I was like, that's dope, yo. Gave up my eye, and now I got the ability. I crush you with just, I'm like, damn, dude, that shit's tight. It's different. It was different, but in a good way. It was like,
That's how I'm like,
I like
how are
it.
you guys coming up with new new powers like that? Like you figure everything's been done,
Exactly.
and then they
True.
come
Yeah.
out with this shit. You're just like, yo, that's. And then like a couple years down the road, they're gonna come out with something else where the fighting style or whatever the system, the power rank is. You're just like, yo, how did you just create this? You just were sitting there in your chair like, oh shit, you know
Yeah.
what's dope?
Yeah.
And then next thing
Yeah.
you know, your one shot
That's
turns
the
into
thing
a
about
a
anime
manga,
is
yeah.
anime keeps coming out with original ideas to hit you up with. Whereas a lot of times you feel like you run into the cliches and the, hey, we're doing this again. But then with a lot of animes, I thought, hey, JJK, all these Demon Hunter, all this stuff, you're kind of in the same genre of paranormal hunters, so you're like, it's just gonna fall in the same. No, this was,
Yep.
it was like, this was different enough to where it sets it apart. You're still interested, and they're still bringing new stuff to you. I was like,
Mhm.
that's impressive.
100%.
Yeah. We got villains like Katana Devil and Gun Devil in this series too. So it's just like, man, the innovation is strong.
And the design was just,
Yep.
Yeah.
you never know what to expect when you're seeing the next devil show up. You're just like, they just like the Eternity Devil is 110 degrees different than the Leech Devil.
Oh yeah.
It's like bam, but they hit it, and the look matches, your imagination as it growing. You're like, oh wow, that's cool.
100%. So, like Jackie said, I don't know what else I could tell you. Get out there, watch it. 12 episodes. Like a lot of the things we're talking about outside of Death Note.
4 hours.
Yeah, just 12 episodes. Just give it a shot. You can knock it out over a weekend, and then let us know what you think about it. But it's the time of the show where we bring our big brains together and let you guys know some animes you may or may not have heard of that you probably should check out. And this week's Put This on Your Radar. again, shout out to the homie Kimpachi. Segment dedicated to you. So we'll start with you, Deontay the Giant. Is there any anime that you want to put the folks on that they may or may not have heard of?
Oh yeah, it's spooky season, so I don't know if you guys might have mentioned this in like the past episode already.
Talk about Jackie's
But
favorite anime.
Jackie is definitely a huge fan of this series. Just came out on Toonami. It's also one day later on HBO Max, which is now called Max. It's Junji Ito's Uzumaki. Such an incredible, exquisite.
So let me ask you this,
Read
Deontay.
it. Don't waste the time.
Let me
Read
ask
it.
you this: animation quality, which had the bigger fall? I think like Uzumaki or Seven Deadly Sins.
Man,
Uzumaki had 4 episodes. Seven Deadly Sins had how many? They messed up 3 out of 4 episodes. Seven Deadly Sins messed up how many? Maybe 5 or 10? Like, come on.
I mean, Seven Deadly Sins, they had to cook for a little bit, and then they threw some bad ingredients in the pot, and that's when shit went sideways.
Yeah.
Uzumaki was more. I feel like I'm watching an anthology series because each episode just has a crazy ending, and then they start over fresh at the beginning of the next episode. Like the other shit just didn't happen. It's just like, whoa, what the fuck? And it's just, I don't know why Toonami is showing this, but they gave it the rights to this to HBO Max as well. And Junji Ito, he's normally like a horror legend, but this
there's just some things that don't translate to moving animation. The stills that Ito creates, how bizarre they are, how like mind freak they are, and then somebody's like, "Oh, I could bring that to life." Now they probably fucking burned the midnight oil for that first episode. And they're like, bro, we can't fucking do this again. You know. Go ahead, Jackie.
What happened was it was with a producer that they fucking bit off more than they could chew when it came to the budget and the amount of work that had to be put into the episode 1. So these motherfuckers were like, that was too much. Here you go, person named Drive and some nerd named Akatsuki. Go do your best. And they're like,
your per diem is now $350 a day.
$350.
And
then they did it, and then they had to make a decision. Do we accept this mediocrity? It's not even mediocre.
I'm telling you, the company needs to get Jackie Flyer out there just to talk to these guys and make them feel like shit.
It's not even mediocre, dude. It's so bad. And they just said like, well, we put a lot of hard work, effort. Where?
Bro, it's like they had
on episode 1, so you didn't want to discredit the people that.
It's like a flip book.
Why are you bringing this up? We already talked about this.
No, you gotta get the good parts in there too.
Read it. Watch the live action. Don't watch the fucking anime, dude.
The anime is it's quite a piece of work. It's
Are we calling it anime? The cartoon. That's what
I would
like
say
some
the live
Ed
and
Eddie shit. You know, like it was
the exact same.
like Johnny Bravo animators just went up here like, oh, let's give our hands at it. You know, fucking. What is this?
This is some Mickey Mouse fucking 1960s bullshit.
Steamboat Willie.
At least
shit.
The dialogue was good.
But that's what I hate when the story is good, but like the visual, you're just like, I can't fucking do this shit, bro.
It was Lord.
Like I know the story is there, but
it was such a huge.
I came for all the depth and dark humor in this story. So watching people turn into snails and then get cooked by their own fellow citizens and get eaten, called escargot.
That is what I came for. I wanted to watch the weird shit. I wanted it to be horror. I wanted it to be fucking uncomfortable, and it was confusing, and I was laughing.
Oh, it was uncomfortable.
I was uncomfortable for
visually uncomfortable. Like Jackie showed us that little like minute clip. Bro, these cats was like sliding across the screen.
The bitch was like,
Like,
We're
But like,
gliding.
but moving faster
And then-
than her
and
legs
then
were
the
supposed to be
sideways,
going.
they're like, wee.
You know,
Just
people over at
sideways
William
going.
Street,
I was like, what the hell?
they were stoned. They were stoned as fuck when they came up with this
Oh,
shit. And
100%.
I'm kind of not mad at them.
100%. Oh man. EJ, you got anything for him? Any recommendations?
Actually, I wanted to throw out. You mentioned it on a Halloween special. Cabanari.
Ooh, yes.
There's the series and the movie, both of which I feel, especially because it's spooky season, it's a different take. If you get a chance to check it out, you get to see a little bit of Asian supernatural beliefs or paranormal beliefs. It's like a mix between a zombie and a vampire. It's very interesting, very well done, and Willie does a good job of explaining it in a Halloween special that was on before for DFPN. But just to see the mixture of almost like a steampunk / samurai epic set in a fantasy world with these supernatural beings. Characters are good. The progression is good. Art is really nice. It's something that you can another series that doesn't take, you don't have to catch up in a episode 3000. You actually can watch the whole thing and the movie, in one weekend and enjoy it. So Cabanari of the Iron Fortress, it's definitely worth to check out. The art and the story are great.
So beautifully done.
Yes.
All right, Jackie, what you got?
I don't really have anything new. Work's been pretty busy, so I'm going back to things that I've been wanting to watch on my watch list. I've just been sitting there for a while. So I just started ReZero. They like redid season 1 where they took like basically it's like the director's cut version. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but now, all the episodes are an hour. I've never seen that before. It makes it go by faster because there's no like opening or ending or anything. It's just like everything all together at once, which is nice. I told Steven I don't know how I feel about the main character. That's the only thing that I'm like battling with right now is it's so cringy and I just like don't know how I feel.
It makes a lot
But
of
Steven
shows
told me that
rough.
it's not about him, it's about all the other characters and just to stick with it and keep watching it. So I was like, okay.
So you putting
So,
it up there with like Black Clover, because me and you are kind of on the same page when Black Clover, as far as Asta, the main character, and everybody's like, it's about the other people. I'm like, it is, but if you got to constantly keep putting Asta on the screen.
Asta's annoying though. He doesn't scream like that. He's just the things he says and the way that his relationships are with people. It's just awkward and cringy.
Now is this?
That's the only thing.
I might be the only person that likes Asta.
Oh yeah,
bro.
But for in ReZero,
somebody has to, Deontay. Somebody has.
Yeah.
It's that character in ReZero is just he's a little cringy, but it's very gruesome, which I was not expecting, and you can tell there's a lot to unpack in the show, and that's kind of what's keeping me engaged is the suspense and the mystery of like what the fuck is going on. So I'm gonna keep watching it. It's got 3 seasons. The 3rd season just dropped. So season 1 I think is 26 episodes, and since they condensed it all into like 3 into 1, it ends up being like 45 minutes for like the first episode, or 45-50 minutes, whatever, and it goes by faster. It's nice. So we're rewatching it. I tried to see if we compare it sometimes, the English dub and the English sub, to see like if we can deal with the English dub. It's not very good on the English dub, so sticking with the English sub. And then only because we've been talking about Chainsaw Man, and this is only 6 episodes. If you guys haven't seen it already, it's called FLCL. The creator of Chainsaw Man was inspired by, like heavily by FLCL. And have you guys watched it or read it or seen it at all?
I've heard about it. I haven't watched it.
No,
it's an older anime. It used to be on Adult Swim or Toonami way back in the day, It's a coming of age story about a 12-year-old boy named Naoda Nandaba who is stalked by a mysterious woman named Haruka Haruhara. It's also known as Fooly Cooly or Furry Curry is
Oh,
kind of
fully
what
cool.
they'll say.
Okay.
Fully
Yeah,
Cooley,
Fooly Cooly.
baby.
Oh,
Yeah.
I never
big
watched it,
ass.
but I've heard of it. Yeah,
It's the
It's
guy
very
with the
interesting.
big
It's
ass
only
knot in
six
his
episodes.
head.
It's only 6 episodes.
I'll
That's
definitely
it.
check it out.
But it's really great. It's weird. It's different. When I was a
Yeah.
kid and I saw it, I was like, ugh, what is this? But I didn't understand it. Now that I'm older, I'm like, okay. So like
Kinda badass.
it's been on my watch list for a while because when I was a kid I didn't understand it. So now I'm gonna watch it again. But it's only 6 episodes, so
Yeah.
I figured like why not if this is one of the things that was an inspiration for
Chainsaw Man.
yeah, I
Yeah.
forget his name.
That's
Then why not watch
my
it?
interest. So until we can get finally the next part of the season,
Fujimoto.
Fujimoto.
But yeah, so
man.
that's kind of what I'm watching right now. It's hard because like sometimes we lose interest in some of the animes we're watching. We want to switch to a different one, and then we'll want to go back. So like my current watch list is like 15 freaking anime right now, and I just keep bouncing.
Damn, you're only at 15. You're crushing them.
You're
I don't know.
doing it.
I'm not really keeping track, to be honest. I'm just
My
I put it on
Crunchyroll
top
watch
there. I
list
don't
is
know.
like, are you gonna start this now? I'm gonna get to it. You know?
Oh,
Yeah.
my actual watch list, yes, is
Yeah.
way longer. I'm talking about I've already watched like 12 episodes and there's 20 something left, and
Uh-huh.
I stopped it and I went and watched something else. So
Yeah,
like
that's me.
I have to
Yeah.
go back and watch Slime. Like I haven't watched the most recent episode or season of Slime. So
Yeah, I'm going through that one, and old buddy's a problem. And
yeah.
Rimuru.
yeah, we talked about that, man. When you have a overpowered main character, like if he is done right, it is one of the most like compelling things. You just keep coming back to watch him. Like, what does he do next?
Yeah.
rather than-
Rimuru Tempest, baby, one of the greatest kings in anime, hands down.
So for mine, I'm gonna share the trailer while I talk because I like visual shit. This one is called Apare Ranman. So again, I'm like in my whole steampunk thing. So this is more of a Western type steampunk. So an eccentric inventor.
Put on the
So-
sound.
No, because then TV Tokyo,
Oh.
whoever's gonna come and fucking rip us off of YouTube. So.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
What are you
okay.
doing?
Yeah.
The,
So,
the fucking fun police.
The one with the red hair is the inventor, and this is the swordsman. So the inventor dude is just always out and about trying to do something, and the samurai guy is hired to kind of keep him in check. But as he's trying to bring him back to Japan, they get stranded at sea and get rescued by an American vessel. Come back to old timey Los Angeles steampunk type era. They have no money to get back to Japan, so what they do is enter a trans country race using steam powered vehicles. So he's trying to work it off. He's going to build this car. They enter this race, and there's different. The contestants in the race kind of make the characters of the show, right? So they go on this adventure. They come across a lot of these characters. Some of these dudes are like bad hombres, to quote a guy that's out there. But it's a good time. Again, it's only I think about a little. It might have been because I watched this a few years ago. Probably about less than 20 episodes, if not probably about 22. So it's
Oh, it's
one
already
season.
out?
Yeah, it's out here. It's on Crunchyroll. I watched it when it was on Funimation. So yeah, it's over there on Crunchyroll now. Just check it out. It's a good time. Again, it's one of those where I just came across it. It's like steampunk western. I'll give this a look.
All right.
Very, very well done. The designs of the vehicles, the characters. Again, a lot of this stuff is just almost reminds me of the probably before Jackie and your time, but like the old the wacky races where they had all the Hanna-Barbera characters
Yeah.
racing and stuff,
Yeah.
and they all had
Yeah.
their vehicles that kind of represented their
Ape and-
characters. Yeah, 100%. That's
Blue
what it was.
Falcon and
But he also kind of reminds me of a Dr. Stone because like things will go wrong with his vehicle, and they're just like, oh, we're all stranded out here. But because his mind is so eccentric, he's like, we could do this, 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 and this, and it'll, So
yeah, that's crazy.
yeah, that's what I like about it. But yeah, Apare Ramen is the Ramen. I hope I'm saying that right. I don't want to say ramen and you think it's about noodles or something. If you're just watching,
I love ramen.
Ramen is the shit.
But yeah, so that's what the crew is recommending to you guys. If you guys have any that you want to recommend for us to watch, just throw it in the comments. Let us know, and we'll be sure to give it a shot. I think it's time for us to create a group page for the for Eat the Cake, so people can just jump in and add stuff to it, because we just have the podcast page. I think it's time to open it up to the peoples, so you guys can speak up and let us know what you're watching. But with that being said, let us return to our regularly scheduled program and wrap up episode 8 of Eat the Cake. All right. So what has everybody got going on? I know Deontay, you guys over at Saturday Night Nerds been busy. What's on the schedule, man?
Yes, sir. We got a Venom 3 review coming this weekend. So God bless our souls, whatever Sony Pictures puts out in that damn theater this weekend. So
you guys sat through Joker 2, so
There you go. If you made it through that and you're still breathing,
yeah. We should be okay through Venom 3. We should be okay.
Yeah, I don't care how bad Venom 3 is. From what I've seen and heard, there's no going down the tubes.
I have
of
no desire. No desire to watch that movie at all.
I wasn't a big fan of Joker, the first one.
I loved the first one.
They could have called it anything. They could have called it, Kenneth the Crazy Guy, and it would have been the same. I'm like, you put Joker on there to bring a lot of people in who were fans.
Yeah.
And it was just it was
bro,
like a
Arthur
multiverse Joker. Is a totally different. I'm like,
yeah.
Well, that's what I thought was the point of the second Joker, is it's based off of some of the comics where there is a timeline where Joker is like this type of Joker, and then he sings a lot and he has a lot of songs in these stories, and that's what they based Joker 2 off of.
I thought
horrible.
So that's why I think they went this, at least when I was researching it, because I was like, why is this a musical? And of course people go back and forth and they argue. Some people who have read the comics and are huge fans of the comics and have read all the timelines, they're like, it's based off of this timeline, it makes sense. And other people are like, this is fucking dumb. And so everyone just clashes with it. I don't know. I haven't watched either of the movies. I haven't even tried it. It's one of those things where, like, when it comes out, I think we'll just watch it on the couch.
Yeah, the acting for Joker was really good. The first one. Yes. The acting is excellent. But I mean, they could have named it anything, and it would have been a better movie. I mean, don't call it something it's not really, just to pull in fans. And I understand it could be a spin-off of or whatever. But I'm just like right now, there's 3 Jokers. I think is what the latest I've read on DC is that there's 3 different Jokers. They're all 3 different people, and they're trying to make a 4th Joker. And I'm like, okay,
I've already hit my Joker fatigue. I'm at my limit.
How many Jokers do we need? Like Batman Who Laughs. Joker.
I was done by the time they reached Barry Keoghan as Joker. It was just like, I didn't really need that in the Batman.
Yeah, they're really dropping off on all their other characters, and the time spent on Prep Man and Superman just it's killing it for DC. It really is. Anyway, sorry. Soapbox.
So that's a Jacob's Film Perspective. You said this Saturday?
Jacob's Film Perspective, we had an episode this past Tuesday on the Terrifier franchise, and that's actually doing pretty well right now. The reels are coming out. We'll have like a bunch dropping all the way up till Sunday.
Okay.
So you guys missed the episode, you're more than welcome to check the clips out or the episode. So we're talking a lot of shit about this slasher film, bringing slasher back with Art the Clown. So
yeah, and for the Saturday Night Nerds information, just check the description. You'll see their Facebook, their YouTube, and also their merch joint that went live, I believe, a couple weeks ago. So make sure to support the broskies. You guys still streaming? I know Will's been on Diablo. You guys still doing the Warzone Wednesdays when you can?
We got one more Warzone Wednesday left, so I'm thinking next Wednesday will be our final Warzone Wednesday, and then we're gonna jump straight into Black Ops 6 Zombies.
Oh yeah, that's this weekend, huh? Friday it comes
Yeah,
out.
it comes
That's
out
gone.
tonight at midnight.
That's going back to the rounds, right?
Yeah, it's just going
Yeah,
back to the
the
round.
old,
And
the
they
old.
removed the shields too.
I like what they did with Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, like that
I did
open
too. I
world.
thought it was a step in the right direction. I know a lot of people like the old school rounds, but you had so much more invested in the newer one. Was like more an open world. You felt yeah. I don't know. As the storm's progressing and the zombies start building up, you feel that whole overwhelming effect instead of just being trapped in a small, So I liked it. I enjoyed it a lot when I tried it out. So
Yeah, God bless our souls for this one that they're doing now with Black Ops 6. So, whew.
Nice, nice. Um, EJ, well, I know you are Doctor Awesome. If you want to put the hat on, you want to tell them what's coming up as far as a Fallen Star for Queens of Nerdom?
we're looking at probably November 2nd. As Fallen Stars return. Heroes are now on that. Looking at the end game. It's getting serious. People have come close to not making it much further. So it could be the might be burying some allies here coming up, but it's good. It's good. And look for it November 2nd. And then I think live on the Patreon for DFPN.
Yep.
And then follow up we'll be posting it. So
Awesome,
Oh, yeah.
man. Can't wait. Story is dope. You're doing an amazing job with that stuff.
Thank you.
Like the way you think on your feet and just come up with stuff, because you don't know what we're gonna say or what our actions are gonna be. You're like, you're presented with this. What are you doing? Somebody's just like, it's time to fucking fight. You're like, well, okay, get ready to die then. And then somebody has to use some magical time magic to fucking. I'm just like, bro, how about we sit and think about what we're doing, guys? Like, it's only four
Time
of
and
us.
space magic has been the key
This is
to
the
a
whole
lot of people not being 6 feet in the ground right now.
yeah,
'cause
an army of holy knights, man. Let's chill out, bro. Like,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
EJ's
pull a sword on him. Like what?
EJ's kind of an icon when it comes to being a DM.
yeah. So he's
try.
pretty good at
I try, but it really a great story. I feel like most people who put together a good story love the interaction between the GM and really good players who get into the role and kind of carry forward the story. I mean, if you buy into it, then it feeds into each other. It's just like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
It starts getting rolling. If people buy into it and play that role, the story really starts to kick off. It's very enjoyable. I mean, right now I'm excited to see where Dolion and Machitas go with their goals. Seeing Mara rise up to the possible futures and her choices that are going to decide whether or not things are night forever night. We'll see.
Dedication.
100%. All right. What you got going on, Jackie?
Work.
Jackie be working. You know what? Here's the thing. So we try to do this every other week. I don't know but 2 weeks from now, it'll be November, so spooky season will be over. The season of giving thanks. How about we give thanks by, if I don't know if it's able to be done, if next time we reconvene, we try to talk about. Now here's my options. I'm thinking like we either talk about our top 5 favorite anime or top 5 favorite openings. Which one would be easier?
I feel like if you talk about openings, it'll inherently start talking about the anime.
Yeah,
True.
for sure.
So
I guess like
if
when you talk top 5 animes, you're thinking like you're encompassing the whole thing, opening, music,
a
all
little
of that
bit.
stuff.
Well, not always. Sometimes. All right, go. Oh my god.
Damn.
I'm too loud for him.
Done with you.
I because it's in a lot of my top animes. I sometimes will I'll separate the openings.
Uh-huh.
Just because like I don't think it's fair to the overall show and the story and the anime like because I consider the manga to like be like, well, season 2's opening was fucking ass. So 8 out of 10. Like,
It's My Hero for me. Like outside of
Yeah.
opening 2, I'm just
I
like,
agree. Like,
skip.
My Hero has been like, out of all
You're lucky the story is good.
7 of their openings, all 7 of their openings, like I think 3 of them were actually
3 of them
good.
were repeat worthy.
Yeah,
I mean,
so-
do you know of any animes that don't have great openings but are great animes?
There's quite a few in
So
my
I mean, that's why
look. I'm not gonna lie. I've had a couple where I'm like, this opening sucks, and so I skip it.
And there's
Shield
been
Hero.
some where I'm just, oh my god. There have been some that have had amazing openings, and the story is
Yeah.
just not it. Like
It's
Black
just
Clover,
really
Yeah.
Black
like,
Clover,
oh.
Black Clover has bangers, bro. Like the intro, the openings for Black Clover, I'm just like lit, and then I sit down and try to watch the show.
So I mean, if you do openings,
I hate it. I
it
can't do
could
it.
be some of these openings could score, an anime
Yeah.
a lot
So
higher than it would.
I just know me. If we talk about the openings, I'm gonna inherently. I might
we
start
can
talking
have a
about the
discussion
well,
about the
I don't know.
anime.
I think I can. I think I might be able to like if we
Separate?
strictly keep it. I think I could separate, but we gotta strictly talk about. We can dabble a little bit about the anime, but I think we have to like
All right, Jackie.
stick with like
I'ma
the
hold you to
artist
it.
openings. I think that'd be an interesting thing to talk about. But how interested do you think the audience would be in like the J-pop openings, though?
I mean, this is
Or
all
does
about
it- do we not care?
introducing. This is all about introducing people to everything anime. So talking about the openings, putting people onto some of the bands, because some of these bands, Miss Green Apple, like you said, Eve, a lot of these people you'll hear on other anime in the future. I guarantee you, Eve will be on some more openings. We got Lisa, who's on the new opening for Shangri-La Frontier, Queen. Another once I heard her voice, I was just like, mother. I don't even be saying that stuff.
Shangri-La Frontier.
The bangers.
Their openings, I'd be like, bro, if you're on my gym playlist, it's lit.
Yeah, Shangri-La's like 3 for 3 right now.
They are. So, like I said, I mean, openings. Let's put the
I'm
people
down.
onto some of these bands.
Yeah,
and these
I'm
groups
it's
out here.
become such a big part.
You said
It really
you said
has,
top
really.
5, right?
Yeah.
We
Does
just
that
gotta-
include the art as well, or just the song?
The art is
Oh,
what
and
this.
the
It's
whole
all, whatever
package.
the
It has to be the
opening
whole
is.
package.
Yeah.
Because I know some songs that are good, but then I'm like, what is going on with?
What is
art.
this?
Yeah.
This sucks, but the music it's on point. That music is
What is
fire,
going
but
on,
that
Matt?
show
I'm not
blows.
feeling this. I'm not feeling
Yeah.
this at all.
That show is blue.
I have to close my eyes every
Just
time I
listen
start
to
the
it.
episode.
Music, just the music.
Just the music.
This anime is for the blind folks.
Should we collaborate to be like, hey, this is what I'm gonna bring, so we don't
Yeah,
bring
we'll
the
throw it
same
in the
ones,
group
or
chat.
should we?
We'll throw it in the
And we can
chat.
talk
Okay.
about different ones. Okay, because I'm down with that.
Okay. All right. It sounds like a plan. So, shout out to Jen. November 2nd, I think, is 2 weeks from now. So if that works for people, if not, we'll always flex. We're able to do that. Flexibility is key to air power. All that good stuff.
God.
Don't act like
November
you don't like it.
7th?
2nd.
November 7th.
Is it
Oh.
7th?
Yeah, I think
Oh, can we do? My dad's gonna be in town that week,
Uh-huh.
so
so.
wouldn't be
You
able
let
to
us
do that
know what
Thursday.
works. You let us know what
I
works.
could do the 14th maybe.
That'll work.
I don't know. We'll talk. We'll
Okay.
discuss.
It'll give us more time to for me to
Yeah,
make
'cause
my
if we gotta
ranking and cross
collaborate on
stuff
the-
off. Yeah, it'd be
Yeah.
like categories. I got to cross this off because you're going to talk about it. But
Yeah.
cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here live. Next episode, we're talking top 5 anime openings, our favorite ones. So be ready to learn about some of these new bands out here. I'll tell you right now, I got to take at least one of the Creepy Nuts openings. I'm calling one of
Damn,
them.
I was just thinking
I'm
about
calling
that.
one of them. I'm
Yeah, I
calling
know.
one of them.
You guys put me onto it now. That's my jam. That's my thing. So
Cool. All right. So everybody who tuned in, everybody who's listening, again, we appreciate the support. Stand by. We'll create the group page for everybody to jump in and communicate and build a community over there. Unless anybody else has any parting words for our lovely listeners and watchers out there? Oh, damn. Jackie
Thank
said
you.
she's going to kill y'all.
Yeah.
She went like this.
I know. I was like,
damn.
No, I went like this.
oh,
It means nothing.
nothing.
Is it-
Okay.
Period.
If it's a little lower. It's
Period.
death.
Because you
Uh-huh.
did this.
Death or nothing.
You were down
Nothing.
here last time.
No, I went like this.
She went full
It's
Destiny
too fast
Child.
for you. You wear glasses.
No.
It was too
Well,
fast for you.
and you
Full
don't?
Destiny Child.
These
You're-
are fake.
So are these. These are blue light glasses.
These are my
Get
blue
out
So
of
light
here.
glasses.
period.
He's the only old man wearing them, for real, to see, for
I did
vision.
not
I,
get the dress
these are
code.
my blue light glasses too. I don't have glasses.
Oh, look at all of us taking care of our
Yeah.
vision.
Wow.
All 20/20
Look at us.
vision up in here.
Not standing on
Look
business.
Look at us. Look at us taking care of our
Wow.
vision. I like
Yeah.
it.
Being
Look at
very
us.
mindful, very
Very
demure,
demure.
very fake,
Yeah, very blind.
Yeah.
fake, very blind.
It's for the
Very
style.
Everyone wearing
can't
glasses that we don't
see.
need. That's what it is.
And
Wearing
then there's like
glasses we don't
people out
really
there
need.
who need glasses in real life, and we're just like, we
I'm
just wear
sending
these
you a
for
pair,
style.
Deontay, so we all can be wearing glasses we don't need.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Episode 8 of Eat the Cake Anime. We'll be checking in with you guys later on. We'll let you guys know. But until then, you guys take care. Peace.